Let's have some fun, shall we? Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. It is British and Irish Lions time versus the Sharks once again, which is a bit odd. It's a bit strange. It's not what we wanted. It's not what we hoped for. We were supposed to be gearing up for Sharks versus the Bulls today at Loftus. So that was what we were supposed to have. Unfortunately, that is not happening. And as a result, we have to watch Sharks versus British and Irish Lions version 2.0, the rematch, the sequel, whatever you want to call it. It's not great. It's not great in terms of what we wanted to see. But at the end of the day, it's British and Irish Lions. And isn't that probably more important than the actual match itself? You know, I mean, if it's between this and not having any rugby today, I'm certainly choosing this. It's also, to be fair, 11 changes to the Sharks, a lot of changes to the British and Irish Lions as well, as expected. So it is basically two new teams. So as far as I'm concerned, it's Sharks 2.0 versus British and Irish Lions alternative, you know. They really are two very different teams that are playing today. So I think that, you know, I think we're going to have a whole new sort of clash on our hands, really. I don't think it's going to be anything like what we saw on Wednesday, which was not great, let's be honest. What we saw on Wednesday was the Sharks getting an absolute hiding. I think they could still be in for an absolute hiding, but hopefully it's I suppose it's different players that could get an absolute hiding. So, you know, we can't take what we can get, really. And what we've got is the Sharks versus the Lions. We'll go through the lineups and look at what's changed, stuff like that. There've also been late changes to the Lions side. No Murray Itoje today, and no Finn Russell either. Itoje is currently sick. Got a bit of gastro from the sounds of it, and a bit of a bug there. And Finn Russell has tweaked something with his Achilles, and so they are going to leave him out as a precaution. So instead, we'll see Bundy Aki off the bench, and Mr. Courtney Laws in the starting lineup, and Adam Beard will come off the bench in place of what was supposed to be Courtney Laws. So those are sort of the late changes. We'll go through the lineups in a little bit, because quite a few changes in both camps, as I said. But yeah, first of all, let's get our score predictions down in the comments below. We've got a poll running, and we'll end it just before we go live, so we can sort of see what people are thinking. And more people are sort of giving Sharks a chance than I probably would have expected. I think it's probably sort of sensible. But let's start smashing that like button. Let's start letting me know where you're watching from, who we're backing, what do we think of the lineups. What do we think of the tour at the moment? You know, I mean, lots of people saying that this is a joke of a tour and stuff like that. I think that's harsh. I think it's going to be a tour that we're going to remember because of COVID-19. That was always going to be the case, wasn't it? Unfortunately, we were never going to have a normal tour. And we're not getting a normal tour. So, you know, I think as long as we sort of very cognizant of what we are getting, I think it's pretty much, I think we're getting what we expected in many ways. But the alternative was for this tour not to take place at all. So I, for one, am choosing to have the tour, and even if it's a farcical or a different tour, if that's what you want to call it, I, for one, am choosing that over no tour at all. You know, if that's my two choices, that's what I'm choosing. So we've got quite a few in the chat saying Lions 35, Sharks 21, so predicting quite a close match. I'm hoping it'll be a bit closer than Wednesday. Look, I mean, it can't be much worse. It could be a last word, so let me not say sort of famous last words or anything like that. But I think that it'll be an interesting sort of clash. I think that we're going to see, you know, I'm hoping the Sharks will have learned, even though a lot of the Sharks players are different. And I think that different personnel will sometimes bring about a little bit of a different game plan. But I'm hoping we see something a bit different with the Sharks. I'm hoping that they've learned from their mistakes. I'm hoping that we'll sort of see them playing with a little bit more sort of freedom, a little bit more sort of enterprise. I'm hoping that they'll try and run the ball a little bit. I'm hoping that maybe sort of Jaden Henderson might be a bit quicker from the rucks and stuff like that. And hopefully I'll try and have a really, really good go. Vic says my Sharks are about to come with the miracle of the century. It would be great. It would be great. But let's be honest. once again, I mean, it's probably a better side than Wednesday in terms of the Lions, in terms of more balanced side. They've got a proper bench. They're not sort of making do with players and stuff like that, which they kind of were doing on Wednesday. But it's still a very good. It's a decent Shark side. Once again, I think up front is going to be a bit of an issue. I think it's going to be a big test for a reserve front row. Lionel Kinnear back in the side. What will that mean? You've got Cameron Wright coming off the bench. What will that mean? So there's a couple of small sort of interesting battles. And I said, I think the reason why I reckon that if they've got the best chance of doing something special is they've seen the Lions. Even if they haven't seen maybe all of these Lions, they've seen how they want to play. They've seen sort of what they can kind of expect. And as a result, they can kind of adapt to it. They're the only side which gets to have a look and say, right, well, that's how they beat us. That's how they play. Now we know how they play. We kind of understand the occasion a little bit more, so we're kind of a bit more prepared for it. And hopefully that a couple of players, I think the occasion gets to a lot of players. I think that's inevitable. I think it definitely happened in the Sigma Lions game. And I think it'll obviously inevitably happen in both the Sharks game. I think, but now that they've had the occasion, they've had that, oh my goodness, it's the British and Irish Lions. Oh my goodness, this is 23 test match players. Hopefully now they can kind of sort of settle in and be like, well, you know what? They've still got four limbs, 2 arms, 2 legs. They still play rugby. The rugby pitch is the rugby field is still the same size. We've got a new place, it's Loftus, but it's still at altitude, so the conditions will still be pretty similar. And as a result, I'm hoping that they'll say, well, let's just have a go, shall we? We've got absolutely nothing to lose. I mean, they've been thrashed already. So they've been hammered once. And I think that what I'll be quite interested to see is whether they'll go for points this time. Because I think that, the British and Irish Lions discipline was not great. It wasn't great on Wednesday at all. So I'll be interested to see if the Sharks, if they get a couple of early penalties in that area, do they maybe go for the 3-pointers and say, well, you know what? If we're going to lose, let's try and put on 20 points. Let's try and let's try and take 3 or 4, kickable penalties, get ourselves up to 12, 15 points. And after that, then maybe we can start going for try. Let's try and get points on the board. Can they create any sort of scoreboard pressure? Is that possible? So those are sort of the small things that I think will be interesting to sort of see. Hello, Sean says, I hear the Stormers and SAA could switch. Stormers might be next week Wednesday and SA following week. So what I'm hearing in terms of that is that, that they might switch, that we might have the Stormers on Wednesday and then the SAA on Saturday. I would prefer that, if I'm honest. I would prefer that. As a non-Stormers fan, obviously I think I'm a lot more excited. I think most people are probably a lot more excited about the SAA game than they maybe are about the Stormers game. And I think that without fans, if there are fans, I can understand 100%. Put the Stormers game on the weekend because you want all the fans to be there. You want all the Stormers fans to be there. The traveling fans don't really matter, If we had the Red Army down in South Africa, it doesn't matter whether it's a Wednesday or Saturday. They were still going to go. So if it's SAA on a Wednesday, they're still going to go. Whereas if you sort of have a Stormers game on a Wednesday, maybe, supporters who are working and stuff like that might not be able to go. And, you want those loyal supporters there. You want those loyal supporters to be sort of the bulk of what's there. So I can understand from that sort of perspective. Obviously some teams do draw the short straw, but in terms of a team that doesn't have a home fixture, let the home team have their Saturday where supporters can travel. If they within the Western Cape, they can travel for the stadium and stuff like that. But with no supporters, I don't think it makes much of a difference what day it is, other than the fact that it's nicer to have rugby on a Saturday because you can have a braai. I had a braai earlier. It was fantastic weather up here in Johannesburg. We had a really nice braai. Very, very full. I've already had a couple of beers, so that's the story. But I think that'll be nice for an SAA game. And then I also think, obviously, it allows the Springboks to try and sort of sort out their COVID issues. That's why the change would actually happen if it does happen. It's purely as a result of trying to make sure that the Springboks can sort out themselves and make sure that we can have a proper SAA game next week Saturday. So there's been no confirmation. I will say that very quickly. There has been no confirmation that it has been changed. Warren Gatlin basically said that that sounds like the most likely thing. He also, interestingly enough, said that it sounds like all 3 tests will in fact take place in Cape Town, which is interesting because I think that the Springboks will be trying to not have that for. They'll be trying their hardest to make sure that doesn't happen because they'll want to have altitude. They'll want to have Loftus. Not Loftus. They'll want to have Ellis Park and they'll want to have FNB Stadium because they know the conditions are a bit better. So they won't want to play 3 games in Cape Town, which could be rainy and could potentially sort of play into the British and Irish Lions' hands in terms of sort of more familiar conditions. If they can potentially come up and play 2 games at altitude where they can run the ball a bit more, they understand the conditions more, sort of suits our rugby a bit better. Mr. Nicker Park Rule says, I don't think the Sharks have the 10 to win. Yeah, well, that's going to be a very interesting one. It's Lionel Kinnear back in the side, so, a big game for him. 32 years old, so sort of in the twilight of his career, which I think could probably actually be quite a good thing if we're being honest here. But I think Lionel Kinnear's had a very underrated career. I think that he's someone who, probably could have had a much better career than he probably has had. And look, it wasn't too long ago where people were calling for him to be in the box squad. When he was playing some really nice rugby down at the Kings and stuff like that. And they were saying, well, if he was doing the same thing at a better union, he would have been called into the box squad. So he's a very good number 10. I also think that Curran Bosch really did struggle on Wednesday. So maybe, whilst it might not be a dream number 10 to have, it's not quite if the Lions got Alton Yankees back or if the Bulls had Morné Steyn back. But I do think that maybe he could be someone who might just sort of spark something a little bit different. You never know. Maybe he has an absolute worldie today and guides them to an historic victory just days after being slaughtered. It's unlikely. It is very unlikely. But let's sort of speculate. It's fun to speculate a bit. And sometimes, have a bit of a dream and stuff like that. Also, Cameron Wright coming off the bench should be quite interesting to see. Why is the game in Pretoria? Because this was supposed to be the Bulls versus the Lions. So obviously, they're not going to go down to Durban, for example, for it. I assume that there's payment in terms of of actually having it at Loftus. I'm assuming that there's a bit of financial transaction there. They get a bit of the cash as well, but also that was where it was supposed to be. So they basically want to stick as much to this tour schedule as possible. So yes, they've had to change opponents, but this is, bar the late time change, this is the first time that anything about the tour has actually changed. The Lions game was always supposed to be the Lions game. The Sharks were always supposed to play in Johannesburg with the new tour schedule. Obviously, the original schedule had them all traveling. So because this game was supposed to be at Loftus, they're sort of keeping it that way and just sort of saying, well, the Sharks can play instead of the Bulls. That will be the only difference. Vic says the Sharks need to be more creative when they were in the Lions 22, and I hope Everett taught them to slow down the ball at the breakdown. Well, it's quite interesting because a lot of people are saying that that's why they don't like Jayden Henderson. A lot of people are saying that he's too slow getting the ball out and that he's trying to. If you're talking about the Lions breakdown, yeah, definitely they need, and I think that's why Dylan Richardson's starting. We'll go through the sides in a little bit. But in terms of the Sharks, I think they do probably need to speed it up a little bit when they've got possession. And they do need a bit more creativity. Werner Cockett at outside centre is very good defensively. I don't think he'll have that much change with regards to his offensively. I don't think there's much difference between him and maybe, Jeremy Ward. But I think that defensively, Werner Cox's a much better one-on-one tackler. I think that he comes up quite quickly as well. He's just a very hard-working player, though, is Werner Cox. I'm very, very chuffed. We've been calling it for a while in the comments to have him at outside centre. He played it in the Currie Cup, and he was brilliant. So I'm very, very glad that we're seeing that again. I think that'll be interesting. But I think in terms of slowing the ball at the breakdown for the Lions, definitely. They've got to get some fetches on there, So they've got Dylan Richardson on. So he will obviously try and get his hands on the ball and try and slow things down a little bit for the Sharks, because if they don't, they're going to get absolutely pummeled. It's one of those things. I think if they get quick front foot ball the entire game, it's going to be a very, very long game for the Sharks. Just for fun, says good afternoon, Stephen. Good afternoon, everybody. Shane Toby's had the Sharks ever beaten the Lions? Not to my knowledge. I think that. We were trying to find out exactly what all the sort of results and stuff were in the past, and I know that I think it was the last time that we actually had this double fixture. It was against Boerland, and it was literally the last time that the Lions played 2 local unions in a row, and they won one and then lost the other. But to my knowledge, I don't think that the Sharks or Natal back then have beaten the Lions. The Bulls obviously beat them back in the 90s, which was still a very, very famous victory. But to my knowledge, I don't think Natal or the Sharks have beaten the British and Irish Lions. Quas says, I'm so worried about the Boks getting no game time. No, it's not ideal at all. Afternoon, Grant Swartz. Sean O'Farrell says, An SA online newspaper thinks the local side is not doing well against British and Irish Lions because they're not playing Super Rugby. For me, that's a bad excuse. No, I don't buy that at all. I don't. I think we're not doing well because we would never do well. I think that it's a completely different situation to 2009, because back in 2009 we had fewer players overseas. So I think that, our unions were stronger. There's no doubt that our unions are weaker. That doesn't mean that SA Rugby is weaker. It means our unions are weaker because our best players are playing overseas. We can't compete with the pound. We can't compete with the euro. That's kind of sort of just standard. It's got nothing. You can't really blame anybody about it. It's the same. I mean, it's like blaming people it's like blaming people from South America going and playing football in Europe. They're going to earn more money, so they're going to go do it. So I don't think that, I think that people get a little bit hysterical about that whole thing, and it really, really bugs me because there's no reason to just lose our mind and SA Rugby's in the pits and this is a joke and stuff like that, because we're not, it's just relax. It's just, this is the reality. The reality is our unions are weaker because our currency is weaker and we can't pay our players. If we start getting more money into SA and we can start paying our players better, if SA Rugby removes the 60 million rand salary cap, then maybe we can bring our best players back. But what we're going to be doing, we'll try and get up maybe tomorrow or Mondays. I actually want to do a team of overseas-based players who are not part of the Springboks. And if we do that, you'll kind of understand just how good the South African depth is. And when you do that and you look at how many good players we've got overseas, I think that kind of alleviates a lot of the sort of negativity around SA Rugby's got no depth. We've got stupid amounts of depth. It's in many ways, our depth is one of our biggest issues. But yeah, so I think that our unions are it's just so unlike, it's just so difficult. It'll be the same thing as we've been saying sort of time and time again. It'll be the same thing as the Springboks going, and this is just the Springboks, not even combining with maybe Argentina, Australia, and New Zealand. Like a lot of people have always said, what if they did a touring side like that? I'm out for that. It means you have to be associated with Australia. No, thank you. Maybe we replace them with Fiji. Then I can get behind it. Yeah, I could almost get behind that. If you didn't watch it this morning, Fiji versus All Blacks were brilliant game of rugby. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Fiji got outmuscled actually, but I thought it was a very, very watchable game. Missed the Argentina versus Wales game. I heard it was a bit sloppy from Wales. Got a draw in the end, I think was the result. So if you watch that, let me know how that was. But yeah, I'm at 12 and Clock at 13 for the future. I don't think so. I think they'll keep at 13. But I think Cock's a very nice player off the bench. I think the Sharks have to get into the market to try bring in a number 12. You got to go and replace Andre Esterhuizen, don't you? It's just they're just struggling without him. They don't really have a number 12 that can get past the game, that can get over the game line. And I think that Marius Lowe is an all right player, maybe carry cup level, but he's not going to run over Damien Day-Lindy when the Sharks play Munster next season, is he? So by virtue of that means that they need someone that can run over Damien Day-Lindy. Look, not too many people can run over Damien Day-Lindy, but can at least sort of contest. So I think that I think the Sharks have got to look into their pockets to get a number 12, and I think that they've gotten Bongi at hooker. So I think probably a lock, I think, will be the next thing that they'll need. And after that Sharks side on paper, there's no reason that they can't contend. They are a proper side. They're also bringing in a really, really good coaching staff. Some very good coaches on their way down to the Sharks union. They've just brought in a consultant for scrums from a former Georgian player. They've got somebody from Europe who's had European coaching experience. They're bringing in, and I've completely gone blank on his name, the current 7 Springbok Blitzbox coach, going to be their backline coach. So they really are bringing some fantastic coaches down to that Durban. So I think it's a very nice project. I think it'll be very, as I said, if you're a neutral, I'd almost advise you go and support the Sharks. I think they've got probably the most exciting sort of project at the moment, in terms of players who are coming through, in terms of trying to make a difference with coaches and stuff like that. But yeah, so 9 minutes to go. We'll go through the teas about 5 minutes. I'm just trying to sort out a few things for our voting show later. So basically what happens after the game, well, pretty much 60 minutes, an hour into the game, we're going to drop a link where you can go and rate every single player's performance. And then what we do is we go live about 45 minutes after kickoff. We kind of give everybody enough time to go and vote and to go grab a drink and chill. And then we go live and we basically go through both lineups and we give them a rating between sort of 1 and 10. And we kind of talk about who played really well, who maybe didn't step up, who we'd like to see better. and that kind of thing, which has actually been really, really fun. And I think it's been quite cool to sort of get other people's opinions on because sometimes you watch a game and you think a player has had a really bad game, and then somebody else will sit there and say, you know what, I've noticed that he's done this, I've noticed that he's done that, and then you can sort of see where people sit. But it's also quite refreshing when you think that someone's had an average game or a really good game, and everybody else also recognizes that. So it's been a really, really fun thing to do the rating show. So I'm just literally finalizing that, and then we'll go through the teams and really sort of get settled in. Who else we got? So FNTSG says apparently SAA game might be replaced with Stormers game on Wednesday. Yeah, so we said that might go to Saturday. Grant Swart says that is bullshit. Our local teams are struggling because they are very young and not quite good enough yet. 100%. Sport 24, yeah. I think Sport 24 now going through a paywall. I think there's some decent writers at Sport 24, but I'm definitely, and as a journalist, I can understand the struggle of trying to find cash flow and stuff like that, but I certainly would not be paying for Sport 24. So, yeah, I don't really read much of their stuff, unfortunately, anymore. But yeah, I think it's a lot of things that a lot of SA journalists have said, and a lot of excuses and stuff like that, but I really don't back that Super Rugby shout. Fiji were contending with the All Blacks today for a lot of it. You look at the scoreboard, it looks like they got outplayed, but they got pushed pretty far. So I don't think that it necessarily means that we would be much better if we were playing Super Rugby, and the All Blacks didn't suddenly look untouchable again because they're playing Super Rugby. Maybe you'll argue that, well, it's because they're not playing against us, but I think it's 6-4 and half a dozen for the other. I don't think there's too much in it, to be perfectly honest. I think that the Pro 14 will be as we saw, we went over, or the Bulls went over and got beaten by Benetton. So there's very good sides in the Pro 14. I'm very excited for the United Rugby Championship. I'm very, after this tour, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because there's Currie Cup, obviously, but that finishes in August as well. I'm going to be sitting there sort of fidgeting, wondering what we're going to do until the United Rugby Championship eventually kicks off. But yeah, get your score predictions down in the comments. Trying to see who else is sitting here. Wales got a draw Argentina 20 all. Well, there we go. What happened between Samoa and Tonga? That was in the early hours of the morning, actually, so I didn't see that. I really think the Kenya future is at 12. It would be interesting if they did go that. As I said, I would be surprised if they did that. It would be, I don't know, it'd be interesting. Because the problem is, I think that it becomes difficult to choose someone for the national side if they're not playing that position week in, week out. I don't know if that comes into play. So, as Wesley Rasmus, are you going to sit there saying, right, well, I've got Damien Dealendi, so I don't want Lekanya. I'm going at 13. Or are you sitting there saying, I've only got Damien Dealendi, Frans Steyn is getting old, Cornel Hendricks is very good but getting old, Esther Hazen, do I back him? Or, could I have Lekanya and Jesse Creel as my centre combination if Damien Dealendi goes down? And if the answer is yes, I could, then maybe he would sanction a potential switch position for Lekanya. I just really like Lekanya Distribution at outside centre. I think he brings wings into the game, and I think that with such good wings at Sharks, that's why I like him there. But look, I wouldn't. It would be. He'd be such a non-South African inside centre. I think maybe that's why I'm just struggling to sort of get my head wrapped around. An inside centre for South Africa who passes and has a really good offload game. We don't do that. We've got big, bulky inside centres. We've pretty much got inside centres playing a fly half. But I'm not opposed to the idea. It would be interesting if nothing else. So finals for the game. I'm literally finishing the last one now, and then we are going to get into the team lineups. Where is Boeta Chamberlain's photo? There you've gone. He's very serious as Boeta Chamberlain about life. Decent player. Interesting that he gets charged. No, Bosch today is a huge call, so we'll talk about it a little bit. Aha! There we go. Right, so let's learn some of the comments, then we'll go through the lineups. Are you showing the game too? No, can't show the game. If you find the game on YouTube, just know it is an illegal stream, and if I do it, I'm going to get shut down. Bergendorf for 12. No, thank you. Unless we're getting Ryan from Meseberg back at the Lions, you can't have Bergendorf. How do you rate this Lions team so far? I still feel they're nowhere on the level of 2017 team. I think the problem is they haven't really been pushed, have they? Until they really get stretched by a really top side, I think it's very difficult to judge them. So, I think they look very good. They look like they're very fit. They look very quick. They look very well organized. They look pretty well drilled. Their defense looks very, very solid. So they've been impressive. It's whether that they can do a similar thing against the Springboks. I think it's difficult to judge at the moment. Who's the Sevens coach now for South Africa? I can see him as well. I can see his grey hair. I'm going to kick myself. It is... No, my browser's not working. Neil Powell, that's the one. I always want to say Paul True, because obviously it was Paul True for years. Neil Powell. Neil Powell's going to the Sharks after the Olympics. So that I think is going to be. I think it's a fantastic move from the Sharks to snap him up. And I mean, if people want to know an example of a team which has a former Sevens player and coach involved, look at Mzadida Stick. Jaden Henderson is ruining Bosch's career. I'm very interested to see how Jaden Henderson goes today. A lot of people are criticizing him and saying that he's been quite slow at the breakdown. But I must admit, I kind of sometimes wonder how much is personal, how much is game plan. Were they trying to play? I mean, look, Bosch. Let's be honest. Even when he doesn't have Jaden Henderson, they tend to go with a very kicking game with Bosch. So I don't know how much that changes with having Hendrickson. But John, let me go through the teams, and then we'll go through the. And then I'll go back to the comments, stuff like that. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're trying to push for that 200 mark. So if we look at the sides for today, and we'll start with the home side, which is the Sharks, despite being at Loftus, as the British and Irish Lions run out. It is Anthony Folmick. Marnus Portgieter comes in on the wing as Werner Koch makes the shift to centre. I think that's a very, very good move there. Murray Costa at number 12. Tucker Abrahams keeps his place in the number 11 jersey. Lionel Cornier is at 10. He partners Jaden Hendrickson. I think that'll be a very interesting combination to watch out for. Pepsi Buthelezi was absolutely immense on Wednesday. 20 carries he made across that game. He's at number 8. Mpilo Gumede comes in at number 7. Dylan Richardson gets a start at number 6 to try and be a bit of a jackal over the ball. The two lock combinations, very big and bulky, and Reniel Hugo and Leroux Roots. Somebody was asking on the street where Leroux Roots is. Well, there he is. He's coming for today. The front row, which I think will be a big test for them, is Vian Herbst, Kieran van Vuren, and Ntutuko Mkunu. I think they're going to struggle a little bit scrum time. I think that would be a little bit of a red flag for me in terms of the Sharks. I think they'll struggle a bit there. And the replacement bench of Dan Juster, Samuel Majola, and Kuta Mkuna. I think Kuta Mkuna scrubbed very well, but I'd worry about the other two. Temalani Boli, John Ray, Lapis Labaskutni, and then bench and the backline players are Cameron Wright, Buta Chamberlain, as well as Jeremy Ward. For the British and Irish Lions today, this is how they're looking at. Liam Williams gets a chance at fullback. He was supposed to play on Wednesday. Couldn't. Anthony Watson comes in, so some devastating pace on display today. Elliot Daly is back, staying at outside centre, but Chris Harris will be his inside centre. Duman van der Merwe, well, he's got a hat-trick on Wednesday. What can he do today? Dan Bigger, Gareth Davies, the Wales halfback combination. Then we've got Jack Conan, Hamish Watson, and Tadek Byrne. I think that's probably the front runners for the starting loose cheer for the Test potential, unless they go Courtney Laws at number 6. Your locks today are Johnny Hill and Courtney Laws. The front row of Tadek Furlong. Jamie George will captain the British and Irish Lions. He's got Roy Sutherland next to him as well. The replacements for the Lions. Sorry, I just want to get my scoreboard there so I don't miss it there. We've got Ken Owens, Wyn Jones, and Carl Sinclair. Let's get our scoreboard on the stop. There we go. And then we've got Adam Beard, Sam Simmons, Tom Curry, and Connor Murray. And then Bundy Aki's been a late addition to the side in place of Finn Russell, no Owen Farrell today. Right, there's our scoreboard. We're waiting to get things underway. Please do smash like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Wayne Barnes, the man in the middle today. He blows his whistle and gets things underway. The British and Irish Lions are playing left to right. It's an early tester for Mpilo Gumede in the number 7 shirt. That's a nice carry from him first up. Sharks in the white jersey today. Change his colour, maybe a change of fortune. Jaden Henderson going to the boot nice and early on. So it's an early tester for... Oh, and it's been knocked ahead forward from Liam Williams, but I think it's a penalty for the Sharks. For the high tackles. That's a very nice start for the home side playing in white today. Grant Swart says the Lions set piece is not convincing yet. The scrum especially looks shaky, 100%. They want to put him at 12 and get Similani for 13. But Similani renews his contract, 100%. He must stay at Lions. Damien Willemse at 12. Good shout. Neil Powell. And then Sean O'Farrell says I would have picked Sean Edwards as defence coach for the British and Irish Lions. His defence is strong as one when he was with Wales and now with France. Not a bad shout, actually. Looks like no Bulls versus Lions. Yeah, I think it's very unlikely that game will happen. I think especially with this game happening, makes it even more unlikely that game will happen. Right, so early set piece here for Kieran van Vuren. They've gone to the back and Dylan Richardson makes a nice take there. He gets himself into British and Irish Lions territory. Hendrickson not the quickest ball. First touch with Lionel Cornier. Werner Koch. Oh, he bounces off Elliot Daly. Elliot Daly storming up there. The ball gets knocked back off him and Buthelezi, as he's always... Oh, he makes a little bit of a break, does Buthelezi. He loses the ball in contact as well. So we'll go back for the first knock on. Big hit between Werner Kok and Elliot Daly. Elliot Daly storming up there, and you can see they're pumped for it. I love Werner Kok. I'll tell you what, he's not the biggest player, but hey, he loves a good contact. He's probably that kid that just loves copper stump, you know. And they kept having to tell him, listen, you're a backline player. And he said, no, it's fine. I just want to hit people. Quanta said I would have gone with a James Fenton at number 20 jumper, almost like for Dylan Richardson. Here comes another hiding Sadie Pollard at 12. Ooh, for the Sharks. Woo! Could you imagine? Nah, if I had Pollard, I'd put him at 10. I don't know. Maybe I just don't rate Bosch as highly as everybody else. I just think that Bosch has struggled lately. I think he is a good player in there, but I think until as long as defense continues to be such a big question mark over him, so will he struggle to get into that box squad. First scrum here, and it looks like it's sort of gone down. Yeah, it's a British and Irish Lions penalty first up, and I think it could be a very long afternoon for the Sharks front row. I think it's on Tadek Furlong. It was quite weird. It kind of sort of crumpled in the middle there. Dan Bigger kicks to the corner. That looks like a perfect touch founder. So the British and Irish Lions, well, they'll be on the 5 meter in the first 3 minutes of the game. So we're going to end our poll there. See what you guys have all said. You've all put your cocks on your blocks. So let's see what they reckon. So 67% of people have actually said the British and Irish Lions will win tonight, which I kind of expect to be in the 90s there. So people are actually giving the Sharks a chance. Big early shove there from the Sharks. They pushed the British and Irish Lions all the way to the side, and it's gone out. That is brilliant maul defense there from the Sharks. And they've just completely counter-mauled the British and Irish Lions out, and they'll have... it's a line out for White, which is the Sharks tonight. Quinton Rosenstein says, give Elliot Daly a Glasgow kiss and Farrell still in need of a pull slap. And Tiers will say, how do you gents think these warm games prepare the Lions, remembering the last 2 midweek games in 2017? Well, it's sort of a 6 for 1, half a dozen. I mean, if they don't get tested here, then maybe they're a little bit undercooked against the box as well. It's a solid line win there for Reniel Hugo. And the Roots, the Giant, will carry it up early for the Sharks. Oh, and that's not good. Hendrickson is down, clutching his arm. I don't know if it's a shoulder or collarbone, but he doesn't look particularly good. Kieran from Fury, and he's back up as Hendrickson. Well, he's passing, so he look all right. And Lionel Cornier under quite a lot of pressure. If doesn't find touch, it's Anthony Watson out there. British and Irish Lions just by the halfway line, so by the 10 meter line, going wide. Duan van der Merwe has split the defense there. He's still going. Oh no, ball out wide. Chris Harris and the Lions are over. Once again, Sharks finding the going. I mean, don't kick there. Don't give them that. You cannot. I understand they're under pressure, but first counter attack from the British and Irish Lions, and Chris Harris goes over. A nightmare start once again from the Sharks. Pity, because they had a really nice maul defense. It's a solid line on win. Then it all got a bit messy. But Duvan van der Merwe spotted the gap and went storming inside of Buthelezi. And yeah, after that, they had to commit, did Morris Portkita, and then they went out to Chris Harris on the wing, and it's just far too easy. The biggest loss of the century, and then the touchdown was Alton Dankias. Yeah, but I think the biggest problem there is you cannot kick to this British and Irish Lions side and not have a good defensive line. Their counter-attacking is really good. So the Sharks are going to have to try and keep it a bit tighter. They can't really kick possession away. So they were under quite a lot of pressure there. And I think that, Cornier had to find touch. Because that was far too easy. Duran van der Merwe split that defense. It was a little inside step. It wasn't like it was unbelievable play by him. He saw a bit of space and he kind of took it. First kick of the match for Dan Bigger, which sails over, no issues for him. So he has the extra 2. And it's not a good start for the men from Durban. It's all forward. It's Buthelezi, it's Dylan Richardson. It's, against Duran van der Merwe running at full speed, they're always going to struggle there. Pity, because it was a nice start from the Sharks. I'm just going to crack it with a beer. It might be a long night, but it doesn't mean I have to stay sober. Cheers, everybody. Very deep does Cornier. And it's Jack Cohen. That's a big hit on him. Hamish Watson with his first carry of the day. Oh, that hits nicely. Can't say it's my first beer of the day, but still hits very nicely. Right, first box kick of the day from Gareth Davies. And it's charged down, in fact, so the Sharks have actually won possession back. Lionel Cornier takes himself inside Lions territory, Dylan Richardson now, it's a solid carry by him. He's brought down by Hamish Watson and his captain, Jamie. Oh, in fact, he's still going, is Dylan Richardson. Struggling to get him down. Eventually, he goes down. It's slow ball for Impilo Gamedi. Puts his head down. Quick ball once again from Hendrickson. Cornier going straight to Fulmick. Fulmick straightening. Runs straight into Chris Harris and Elliot Daly, who drive him back. Still available. Much better ball here from Jaden Hendrickson. So you can see it's a bit quicker. He's trying to get that ball out immediately. Cornier, Richardson. Big hit on him from Taylor Furlong. I would hate to run to Furlong. Cornier now going to Werner Koch. They're a little bit backwards, so he has to try to... Ooh, he hands off Dan Bigger. Rush defense from Irish Lions. Now the Roots will take it up. So the Sharksmen sort of peg back to their halfway line. Cornier going back to Costa. Going out wide to Fulmick. He sees a bit of space. Tests away from one. That's nice from Fulmick. Gets himself back into the British Irish Lions territory. Standing pretty deep there was Kieran van Vuuren. And it's a penalty advantage. Courtney Laws and Jaden Henson just can't get that ball out. I think he was milking that a little bit, but winning a penalty there from the Sharks. That was much better from the Sharks. There wasn't much go-forward ball there, but you can see the intent. Jaden Henson trying to get that ball out nice and quickly. Lionel Cornier trying to get a couple of his players into play. They're going from left to right. Much, much better from them. And if they can do that the entire game, I think that'll go a long way to trying to break down this Lions defense. It was all just too one-dimensional on Wednesday. Grant Swart says Sharks defense is a big worry. 100%. They need to keep the ball as much as they can. Jaden Henson should be at home on the couch. Well, it's already looking a lot better. And that's why I sort of always wonder, how much is personnel and how much is game plan? Because Jaden Hendrickson is not always... we've seen him play like this with a bit of a higher tempo. So you kind of sort of wonder how much is him being slow at the ruck, or how much is it where they sort of said, let's try and take our time there. So that's why I think it's going to be a big game for him. First, sort of more here from the from the Sharks. It's gotten down, but it's available for Kieran van Vuuren. He goes to Murray Costa at inside centre for today. Leroux Roots, that's his third carry. As you'd imagine, he'll carry a lot today, the big lock forward. Courtney Laws over there. Messi ball, Murray Costa looks up and cleans up. Henson going himself. Eventually goes to Cornier. Ooh, a little chip over the top. And Anthony Watson will mark that. So, an interesting idea from Cornier, but it wasn't a great chip from him. Anthony Watson decided to kick it quickly. He spots a bit of space down the... Oh, my living, that's a good kick. Oh, no, it's not. It's going to go all the way. It'll sit up in the trial after the trial round. So, Sharks will restart the 22. It almost looked like a perfect kick from Anthony Watson. Sean O'Farrell says we have to factor in only the Bulls played an international side, and that was Benton. I just think the sides like Sharks need to adapt to different tactics. It's one of those things. It would have been really nice if this tour was next year. Not in terms of saying you should have proposed 22, but just in terms of if we'd had a season of, United Rugby Championship and stuff like that, because the South African sides have had such a horrible time in terms of being able to find opponents, be able to play rugby, that they're always not going to be struggling when it came to now. This time next year, I reckon all South African sides will be in a much better space. So Lionel Cornier will kick it deep. Now, the important thing here for the Sharks is a proper line of defense. Dan Bigger goes up for the up and under. So this will be a test here. I think it's Lionel Cornier. Yeah, and he comes off Daily, but Jaden Henderson's there to clean up. So Sharks are one possession back in their own half. Oh, it's a horrible pass to Lionel Cornier. He's knocked it on. No, they've said he hasn't knocked it on. He's kicked it ahead, though. And combining Duran van der Merwe, he's just running for free here. Eventually brought down by Pepsi Buthelezi back in the Sharks' half. Courtney Laws, ball to Dan Bigger. He's going out wide to Elliot Daly. And trying to... Oh, here we go. Here we go. Go one more. Fulmick's got the pace. Does Fulmick have the pace? He's got the pace. He's over. Anthony Watson, where are you, mate? Anthony Fulmick is over. The Sharks hit back. And that's Elliot Daly, who's been trying to throw the long and very complicated pass in there, has just completely stuffed it up. He lost the ball forward. Jaden Henson on it like a flash. In through play of the hands. Costa went out wide. And Anthony Watson still having a look at trying to find out what happened here, because he just got absolutely burnt out wide. Elliot Daly, it's horrendous, just dropping the ball basically. Hendrickson was on it. It was Werner Koch inside ball to Hendrickson. Drew two fenders, brought in Murray Costa. He knew he didn't have the pace. Anthony Watson, Fulmick had him all the way. They just weren't even going to touch him. Electric. Anthony Fulmick, take a bow, mate. And Lionel Cornier, no issues there. 7-7. This is more like it. 11 minutes. They haven't conceded 2 tries. We're moving. And that's the important thing, because when the Sharks were making errors on Wednesday, the Lions were punishing them. Now the Lions make an error and the Sharks punish them. More of that. As Qantas says, let's go. Let's go. Nice pace there from Fulming. He had the run on Watson, but Watson never looked like he was even catching up to him. So, good stuff there. Good stuff there. Please have one for me. I'll have more than one for you, chap. Don't you stress. A lot better from Wednesday. I just look, they look more up for it. And they look a little bit less like a deer in headlights. And as I say that, Gumedi has knocked it sideways, though. Dylan Richardson's through. He's got support. Yes, he's got support. It's Gumedi. Just trying the miracle pass to Hendrickson. And then Dan Bigger trying to grab the miracle pass and just run through. So it's a knock on here. Michael Bird, have it brandy, but I actually went and bought some more Coke today. So maybe I'll go jump and have one at half time. We'll stick with custom number 17 for now. Grant Swords, what a pass from Elliot Daly. That's pretty much a try assist from him. So it's funny. I mean, Gumedi, it wasn't a great take out the air from him, but it worked out very nice as Dylan Richardson burst ahead. Got away to Gumedi, and I think Gumedi probably should have taken contact. It was a bit of a miracle pass he tried to give to Jaden Hendrickson. So now a scrum on the middle of the park, on the 10-meter line of the Sharks. And it will be it'll be a Lions put in. It was knocked on by Hendrickson. And it's gone down again, but it's available. The Lions are going down the right as Davies got himself. Brought down by Lionel Cornier. Pacey Boutelez, Gumedi is out there. And he's won a penalty. Good stuff. And Pilo Gumedi. Brilliant turnover. Lionel Cornier taking it nice and quick. He's going to bounce that. He's going to run out for touch. Lionel Cornier has... Dan Bigger's there. Fulming drags him out. Brilliant. This is rugby. Lionel Cornier taking it quickly, spotting the space. A brilliant chase from Anthony Fulming. Dan Bigger's there to clean up. And Fulming bundles him into touch. So they will have the line out deep inside the Lions 22. It's like a whole different Sharks side. Who scored for the Sharks? Anthony Fulming with the khas. Anthony Watson looked as quick as a tight head prop in reverse. Look, I mean, he's almost the size of a tight head prop. He's a very big lad, as Anthony Watson. Look, he does have quite a lot of pace, but jeepers, he didn't look like there. But that's brilliant. Pelo Gumedi winning the penalty here. They haven't gone short, but Richardson has burst out the back from the line-out. So no running more here. Now they're on, guess who? LaRue Roots. Up he's got Gumedi next to him. It's a big hit on him from a couple of lines forwards. Henderson waiting for a couple of ball carries, and it will be Pepsi Boutelezi. Up against Hamish Watson. Take him with you. Makes a few meters. And Dylan Richardson. That's it. Much better from the Sharks. Another quick ball here. Hendrickson. Going to the left now. Cornier. Dabbing back. Tucker Abrahams. They've done it. Kerwin Bosch, retire. Hang up the boost. Lionel Cornier is back. He's got the assist. Tucker Abrahams. The Sharks are ahead. Well, who would have thought? It's like a whole different side. Lionel Cornier, I said it'll be interesting to see how he goes. Because look, Lionel Cornier's got two moods. This mood, where he can change the game, and where he can be very, very ordinary. But there, a couple of very good phases. He spots the gap. Anthony Watson's up. He has to come up quickly. And Tucker Abrams got all the pace in the world. Dots down. You can see what it means to them. The Sharks are ahead. What a start. And that, I'll say something. Pepsi Boutelezi put them on the front foot there. A really good run as well from Dylan Richardson after that. And then Henderson decided to go to the left. Lionel Cornier obviously calling it through. It was a sort of a 3-on-1. Decided to dab him behind. Perfectly weighted kick for Tucker Abrahams. Liam Williams was trying to get back but didn't have the pace. And Lionel Cornier will have a chance to try and kick themselves 7 points ahead of the Lions in the first 15 minutes. What a start! I'm getting tired just watching. Lionel Cornier, that's a horrible kick. We'll ignore that. We'll let that one go. You've got to try assist. We'll let that one go because that wasn't your finest moment. And this is what I say. I think it'll benefit them. I'm playing a second time. You can just see they're playing against a rugby team. They're not playing against this amazing British Irish Lions team. They've told themselves we can actually do something here. Gumedi once again under the high ball, much better from him. The good carry from him as well. Right up to the edge of 22, so I think they'll still have the safety to 22. Hendrickson now will show for the box kick. Look for some touch. No, it's going to be contestable. So it's Marnus Portkita who's after it. And it's a good take from Williams. Hendrickson's over the ball trying to win it, but it's available for the British and Irish Lions. You got a furlong. You get wrapped up by Hugo. Now we've seen some good attack from the Sharks. Now we see some good defense. Jack Conan, brought down by Werner Koch, pops it up to Gareth Davies, who goes to Bigger. Now Bigger puts it along the boot. And it's under pressure from Cornier, who tries to go himself. He's wrapped up by 2 Lions players, but support is back. Yeah, that's actually well played by Cornier. He could have gone with the boot, but he was under pressure. Probably wouldn't have found the best touch finder, so he took the contact. Now that'll be Kieran from Fury, and they'll try and get Lionel Cornier out from the bottom of that ruck so he can kick for touch, or else we'll have Jaden Henson shaping for the box kick. That's what we're going to have. Right, box kick from Hendrickson. Still doesn't look like he's going for touch, so it'll be a contestable kick. Ooh, it's been almost pulled forward from Gareth Davies. He eventually gathers, so it's available for the Lions. They're up by the 10 metre. Furlong there, scrum off, biggest scrum off in the world. A cross kick from Bigger. Now Elliot Daly chipping ahead. How will it bounce for Fulmick? He's got a bit of time. He's also got a man on the inside. He's going to keep it in hand. He runs straight into Elliot Daly. And Dylan van der Merwe is there as well. A couple of Sharks players coming back. And I can see the penalty. I didn't think it was the right decision there from Fulmick. Ran straight into the 2 players. And I think it's Murray Costa who, in trying to be coming back and help, is coming from the side and can see the penalty. So a bit poor. They're taking quickly. Have Jamie George, the captain for today. Oh, he's knocked it on, ref. No, not. I thought he had knocked it on. It's a couple of pick up and goes there from the Lions. This is now the test for the Sharks. Yeah, it was a knock on. I thought so. Wayne Barnes, get some glasses here, mate. Quinton saying, get him, boys. Hope this won't be as embarrassing as Wednesday. Well, it's already better, isn't it? They've scored 12 points, so I think it's already a better showing. Sharks scored more than Wednesday so far. Exactly. What a try. This is what you get when Boris Lowe is not allowed anywhere near a rugby pitch. And a 10 that's not afraid of contact. Yeah, well, it's all Lionel Cornier at the moment. We've got time off here. I don't know who's receiving treatment. Is that Buthelezi? I hope not, because he's been terrific. I'll tell you what, Pepsi Buthelezi for future bar captain. I'm all in. I'm all in on the hype train. Choo choo! Right, so defensive scrum here when we will resume for the Sharks on the 5 metre. Very nice result, because Jamie George took the penalty quickly. And then I think it was Tad Furlong who knocked it on in the pick-up and carry. Oh, that's a hell of a thing. So, Mary Costa's, if you're wondering why he's got the black armband on his arm, it was in pretty good, by the way, getting some treatment. He lost his uncle on Tuesday, so thoughts go out to his family. But it's also amazing, how often do we see players who lose a family member or something like that, and they decide to play, and they often go on to put in like ridiculously good performances. I mean, you remember Ryan Jansen van Rensburg lost his mom like 2 days before a Lions game, and then he won a man of the match on Saturday. It was absolutely ridiculous for the Lions. But yeah, thoughts go out to his family for that. That's why he's wearing the black armband. Looking at the try again, brilliant stuff here from Anthony Fulmick for that first try. Lots of pace. Solid scrum there from the Sharks, and Jaden Hendrickson carries it out before putting it to the boot. Doesn't look for touch though. I don't know why they're not looking for touch. Liam Williams there. He's got Dylan van der Merwe outside him. He struggles with Monis Porkita. Eventually brought down. Courtney Laws. Oh, and that's a pop part. You say you and Kieran from Furen's over there trying to win that back. So the Sharks have won it on the ground. That's a knock-on from the Lions. The Lions are looking a little bit rattled almost. Yeah, of course, Dylan Richardson's trying to get in the face to Courtney Laws. Unfortunately, I reckon Courtney Laws will probably put Dylan Richardson on the ground with one swipe. That's an interesting thing. Maybe we'll do a poll. Who in this British and Irish Lions side would you least like to fight? Give me some options here and we'll run a poll. I think, we got to ask the real question. We're asking the real questions here. Who in the British and Irish Lions would you least like to fight? And I'm putting Courtney Laws pretty high up there. Apparently he's a very, very quiet person in and around the squad. Apparently he's an absolute beast in the gym. So he's my early shot. But if you have any suggestions, we'll run a poll on that and we'll answer the real questions here. None of this sort of, who's going to be the next Bok captain. We don't do that nonsense. It's going to be Pepsi Buthelezi anyway. Right, scrum here for the Sharks. And it's gone straight down on the tight head side. Vian Herbst is sitting with eating some grass. And eventually the penalty comes. I'm sure, I haven't shown it who it is, but I imagine it's for the Sharks. Yeah, it's for the Sharks. Well, I'll tell you what, if Vian Herbst didn't know what grass tasted like, he's had a couple of mouthfuls tonight. He's been living on the ground, rent-free in fact. Yeah, you've got a bloody lip as well for your efforts. He's going to struggle tonight, and Dan Bigger has put that right on the 5 metre, as you'd imagine he would. Clock is back on. We've just gone past the 19 minutes mark. Suits his own fellas the weakest in my point of view. Big shout, big shout. Right, so on the 20th-minute mark here, it is still the Sharks in the lead. But Jamie George was throwing on the 5 meter, so it's a very nice opportunity now for the Lions to try and hit back. They go to the front, it's Tanner Byrne. Solid counter shove here from the Sharks early on, but eventually the Lions getting some momentum, but they're going to have to use it. Oh yeah, they're over. And they're over. That was very, very easy eventually. Jamie George is the man, captain today. Try for the Lions. Jamie George hits back. It looked initially like decent Maul defense, but you can see, as Mauls often do, it kind of breaks apart down the middle. It's where Dylan Richardson is. Vian Herbst trying to jump in this. And you can see it's off to the left, and there's just a couple of bodies in the line. And eventually Jamie George breaks off and goes over. So the Lions hit back. It is 12-12. Right, so Sean O'Farrell's reckoning Finn Russell. I think Finn Russell would. I don't know why. I don't think he'd fight dirty, but I think he'd be quite a. He'd just be. He'd have pace. Almost Conor McGregor-ish, I reckon. Toby Wickham says Tom Curry would be a nasty piece of work and a scrap. Yeah, I can back that. Grant Swart says Courtney Law's like he could kill you. Hamish Watson, however, will never go down. It looks like he would, wouldn't he? He would just be relentless. Well, Dan Bigger shifted that down to the right. So at the moment we've got Courtney Law, we've got Hamish Watson, Tom Curry, and Finn Russell. I actually don't know how many people I could put in the poll. Yeah, I could put a couple. So if there's anybody else there that we want to chuck in the poll, then we'll poll it before half time. 12-12, 21 minutes played. I don't think it's a very good start from the Sharks so far. They can go a third try. I think it's a fantastic outing, to be honest. But they've looked much better at the Sharks. Don't quite look like deer in headlights at the moment. So it's already much, much better. Lionel Cornell going nice and deep. Jack Coden, the man underneath the ball once again. I think and Dylan Richardson over there trying to steal it. So it's slow ball. It's a penalty. Not running away is the call. It's against, I think it's the Roots, yeah, the Giant. Sean Farrell, Carl Sinclair. Well, Carl Sinclair, I think that will be, yeah, okay. Jeepers, you just be massive. I think he just headbutt you. Right, let's get that poll. We've got a bit of time. Who in the squad would you least like to fight? Right, so our options, we said Finn Russell. There's a bit of an outside, a bit of a jackal there, I reckon. You know, Courtney Laws there. Solid line-out win here. Jack Coden gun in the middle. Pepsi Buthelezi got some arms on that, trying to slow it down. He does. Gareth Davies goes himself. He's wrapped up. Well read by Murray Costa. Courtney Laws now. Brought down. Peter Gamedi grabbing his foot there. Now Gareth Davies decided to go the other way. Dan Migger going himself. Spots a bit of space, which is quickly closing up. He's brought down by the Sharks captain. Courtney Laws this time. Steps away from one, brought down by Pilo Gamedi. Once again down the blind side. Abrahams has come up quickly. And they're running out of space. So Dylan van der Merwe comes inside. Well tackled by Pepsi Buthelezi. Such a hard worker is Buthelezi. Good continuity here for the Lions. But struggling to get on the front foot. Now Jamie George is through a gap. He's brought down by Marnus Porklita. Oh, and Jaden Hendricks has intercepted it. He's going. Has he got the pace? He's got the pace. Jaden Hendrickson. Well, Duvan's coming. He's got the pace. He's over. The Sharks retake the lead. Jaden Hendrickson silencing the haters. Thank you very much. Reading it like a book. He is over Jaden Hendrickson. He's just got a knack for scoring tries. And the British and Irish Lions were looking good. I said they were struggling to find some go-forward ball. Jamie George then taking a gap and then trying to play it nice and quickly. Gareth Davies throws a long pass and it's read very well by Hendrickson. The next thing he's got the pace. Elliot Daly's tracking back. I think Duvan van der Merwe might have caught him if he had more time. He had to sort of slow down at the end. But Hendrickson, well played, mate. Well played. Gives me some time to get our all-important poll going. I can only have 4 options. So I'll put in Tom Curry. In fact, I'm going to actually go Sal Sinclair ahead of actually, I think Finn Russell's an interesting idea for in a scrap. Yeah, alright, here we go. There's a very important poll. Who in the Lions team would you least like to fight? That's what we're talking about here. In the meantime, Lionel Cornet has popped that over, 19 points to 12. And, tell you what, old Warren Gatlin literally a week ago, was saying they were hoping for a sterner test. Well, guess what? It's coming now in the shape of a Sharks in white who have now lost the ball on the kickoff. And Sutherland takes it up. So the Lions immediately on the attack. I hate it. Why do it? When you've got such good... You just done something, an intercept try, perfect. Then you go and just make a hash of the kickoff, and suddenly you're under pressure again. But Dylan Richardson's over that ball, trying to slow it down. He does slow it down, trying to win a penalty. Sutherland once again. The line's up into the 22 meters. Tarek Byrne looking for a pick up and go. He's got Johnny Hill behind him, and Garrett Davis says, no, we're actually going to go Dan Bigger, who spots a bit of space. As Ntutuko Mkuna rushed up early. Liam Williams, Duvan van der Merwe, and Ntutuko Mkuna, you are buying the drinks tonight, because that was horrible. Horrible. You are playing against Dan Bigger. He is one of the best fly halves in the world. Breaks the line early. Bigger reads it. Says, thank you very much. I'll take that gap. Sucks in 2 players. 1 over the top. 2 over the top. Duvan van der Merwe is over for his first of the night. And it's Ntutuko Mkuna that breaks early. And there's just... He creates the gap there. And you can see, always struggling. They've sucked in 2 players, and then comes the overlap, and it's too easy. Too easy. Far too easy there. You can't give that kind of space Dan Bigger. Immediately onto it, like a flash. Attack the space. And it was just very easy. And that's just undoing the good work you've just done. And that's a brilliant kick from Dan Bigger. So it's 19-19. Well, it continues to be a very close clash. But you just got to feel it's a bit soft, don't you? It just rushes up. And, you mate, come on. Basics. Just hold your composure. Let him run into you. You're not going to... What are you going for the interception? And Stugan Kuhn is going to outrun the Lions. Hendricks are having a bit of a go at the ball as he puts it down as Duvan van der Merwe. I don't think he was particularly impressed, but Anyway, please do continue smashing that like. Continue subscribing if you are new. We are into the 28th minute. Lionel Cornier now going sort of more central on the center of the 22. Elliot Daly underneath it. It's a bit of a slow defensive line, so he loses the safety of the 22. Don't know if that was intentional. The Sharks defense in the middle of the park was really soft. No, 100%. Waterberg Wines, you should put Owen on the list. Oh, yeah, well, you can only put 4, unfortunately. So, maybe we'll do a bit of a... We'll do a bracket sometimes, and we'll get up to some champions. But the Lions have gone deep, and Buthelezi under the ball. Oh, he's just handed off Dan Bigger. I love it. Well, he's gone a bit lateral, has Buthelezi, but it's allowed for the entire Sharks side to come back. And once again, LaRue Roots, the big man, will carry it up. Now Hench under pressure, goes to Lionel Cornier. He puts it up. It'll be contestable. Take Abrams is tearing after it. It's up against Duvan van der Merwe. It's a brilliant take from Duvan van der Merwe, who then throws a horrible pass which runs out. So it'll be a Sharks line out on the left, their right-hand side, on the 10-meter line. Duvan van der Merwe, brilliant take out of the air, and then throwing a bit of a nothing pass. And literally, as he took that, I was about to say, I tell you what, he's looking like a proper international wing as Duvan van der Merwe. And then he goes and does that. He made 7 carries on Wednesday. He made 112 meters and 3 defenders beaten. Fun fact for the games. Wolfman just out of booze. It's just the worst, isn't it? I hate it when you're out of booze. I mean, I'm far away from that being a reality, but I can understand your pain. Sorry, I don't want you to brag. Shorthouse is a lot better game so far. Oh yeah, this has been proper. This is like what we wanted to see. But to be fair, maybe the Sharks sort of, everybody was reckoning that the Bulls was going to be like the biggest test. So maybe the Sharks realized this and thought, well, we're going to have to bring our they're going to have to bring the A game to try and sort of replicate that, and they have so far. Right, so I'm trying to see how many votes we've got on the poll so far. 24 votes. When this gets to 30 votes, we'll end it. It's quite close. It's quite close. So it could go either way, much like the game so far. Right, so Sharks line out inside the Lions territory on the 10-meter line. Kieran McVeighn's a very good set-piece hooker. So he finds Gomedi at the front of the line out. Henderson to Lionel Cornier. It's a bit stagnant, but LaRue Roots gets a bit of go-forward ball. It's a very nice carry from him. Adding a lot of bulk to the Sharks today. Now it's Pepsi Buthelezi. Offside advantage there, so Sharks can do what they want. And I'll tell you what, if there's any fly out that loves an offside advantage, it's Lionel Cornier. You'll probably try a some around the back, bicycle kick. You can see a little chip in the middle there, trying something. They've kicked it straight to the Lions. So we'll go back for the penalty offside for the Sharks. And what? I was about to say the Sharks were retreating, but it's their penalty. Yes. They're going for the poles. Well, there we go. Pepsi Buthelezi is going for the poles. That's interesting. We talked about this beforehand. What do? Do you sit there thinking maybe, we try and make a game of this, or do you only go for the try? Going for the poles, I think, is probably the right idea. Get yourself 22 points. That's very respectable. You can go score 30 points. Even if you lose 50-30, that's a good game of rugby. Is the booze ban still on? Yeah, it is, unfortunately. Tomorrow we should probably be getting an address from Cyril, who will be telling us what the plot is. I mean, surely maybe like 1 week, but you can't. Maybe. Well, I'll tell you what the patriotic thing would be to do. The sensible thing would probably be to do 2 more weeks, because it's not going well here in terms of COVID and the amount of cases. But the patriotic thing would be to do is to lift the day before that block game. Open bottle stores on that Friday. Even if it's just for a day, let the people drink beer when the Boks take the field. Well, Lionel Cornier's butchered the kick. Well, that doesn't help anybody, does it? I misread the vote. I thought it was who you like to fight. I think Owen would be number 1 by far. Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't even bother doing that thing. We know that Owen Farrell will be people will be lining up for Owen Farrell. If Booze opened tomorrow and the option was to line up for Booze or to fight Owen Farrell, I reckon the Owen Farrell line will be longer. Not a popular man in South Africa as Owen Farrell. So Dan Bigger with the restart. It's Hugo underneath it. He's tackled just into the Sharks' territory, so that's very poor by Lionel Cornier, by the way. It wasn't a particularly difficult kick, and a nice chance for them to take the lead. Anyway, Mario Costa will try and get that back on the front foot. It was a bit of backwards from the Sharks, but he eventually straightened up and it's all there. Well, there we go. Some inside information. Waterberg Wine says, I'm in the liquor trade. It will not open. I think, I just don't see why it would open. We had no change in the 2 weeks. Not that you're never going to see much change in the 2 weeks, so... Right, Lionel Cornier, that's a very, very strange kick. That is the problem with Lionel Cornier. He can be very good, but he's now just tried a very, very flat up and under, and he just basically kicked it into touch. Exactly where he was. That's bizarre. So it'll be a liner for the Lions. It's a horrible moment for him. Wolfman says, you still think Bok will be after all the COVID cases in camp? Well, I think that, hopefully you can try and isolate people. I mean, if they were in isolation last week, so it kind of sort of be 10 days by next week. The problem is how many training sessions they can get. I still think the Lions games won't be the issue. It's whether we'll be able to get an SAA game for next week Saturday. Hopefully we will, with the amount of people who are not in isolation, stuff like that. The Lions on the attack now, shifting the point of attack. Oh, inside ball, they head straight into Wayne Barnes, so it'll be a scrum down. Good old Wayne Barnes with an assist. I love it. Right, so we'll end the poll there. We've got 31 votes, so let's see who won this. Yeah. Well, Courtney Laws, I called it. Courtney Laws is the person we would all least like to fight. Yeah, he's just huge, isn't he? I mean, the official stats are Courtney Laws weighing in at a whopping 113 kg. He's got that misdemeanor. He's got that. He's very quiet. He's got that look in your eyes. You just think that just one time. Tom Curry coming up second. Finn Russell on par with Hamish Watson. Two very different fighters, I reckon. I think Hamish Watson will have the stamina. I think Finn Russell will just be quick. Right, so we start with a scrum, for the Lions. Solid scrum. Oh, Jaden Hendricks are all over Jack Conan. That's nice from the scrum off. So it's Lions under a little bit of pressure. Hendricks has started off much better in this game, by the way. He's looked a much more confident scrum off. Hamish Watson picking up and going. It's a nice tackle from Gamedi, as well as I think it's Louis Roots, who now needs to roll. Wayne Barnes, you need to get out of here, mate. He's about to get run over. Courtney Laws has taken it up. Wayne Barnes is in the way. Johnny Hill taken up. Pepsi Buthelezi tackling him. Hamish Watson, it's mallet on mallet. Trying to rip the balls, Hamish Watson, and as a result, he's actually gained quite a bit more meters than he probably would have if Kieran Fury had just taken him down. Tanner Byrne now is a little bit isolated, but Courtney Laws is there in help. Now it goes back to Dan Bigger, who decides to go down the boot. Ooh, and it's not really well read by Anthony Folmink. Lots of work to do. Goes inside. Werner Koch coming in with the help. They're spreading it all the way down to Lionel Cornier, who's opening up a bit of space. He's going for a torpedo. He's kicked it straight down the middle. It's bounced. Now this is where the Lions are going to be dangerous. Dan Miller goes out wide to Anthony Watson. I think it's the first touch of the ball for Anthony Watson, who's skipping away from Anthony Watson. Lionel Cornier's eventually got away, but he's got it off to Gareth Davies, and is that into Tuku Mkuno with a brilliant tackle, tackling him out there. That's a big hit on Gareth Davies, who's... Oh, the Sharks taking this quickly. Oh, and Volmaker's dropped it, but not forwards. Is he going to... No, he's still running. Well, they're looking to run everything at the moment on the Sharks. Volmaker runs out the 22. I mean, I admire it, but I'm not sure if it's the smart thing to do, but you got to admire it, I suppose. Now Lionel Cornier still not looking to kick. Running through the hands now. Werner Koch matching up Anthony Watson. Buthelezi goes to Juan Sportito, who cuts inside. Oh, he actually probably could have kept going. Werner Koch. Johnny Hill reading that pass quite well. They got up to the 10 meters, have the Sharks. This is very, very good for them. I admire the courage and the braveness of doing this. And now Jane Henderson will go to the boot, and you can see that's a won't be contested by Dan Bigger. Bit of territory there. Goes inside to Duan van der Merwe, who goes outside to Elliot Daly, who's now going to cut inside of Teka Abrahams, who pretty much just touches him. They go inside to Rory Sutherland. Now heel straightened up, runs into some big forwards. Still in their own half are the Lions. Now going out wide. Oh, and it's knocked down for Duan van der Merwe. Now Abrahams is all onto it. Abrahams! He's quick. Inside. Anthony Volmaker's got a brace. He's got a brace. Try number 4. Bonus point. Bonus point try. The Sharks got a bonus point. I tell you what. As I said, they're just living off the Lions' mistakes. Lions trying to keep it alive. Going off to the left, and they spilt it forward. And Abrahams, inside. Doesn't have the pace. Inside ball to Volmaker. Volmaker's got a double. What an inspired team change from Sean Everett to have played Anthony Volmaker, because he's got 2 here. Yeah, it's just too easy. Too easy. This is proper. As I said, having a second go could be exactly what a union needs. Because the Sharks team are... Look, they're living a little bit on the Lions' mistakes, but that's what they didn't do on Wednesday. The Lions were good on Wednesday, but there were quite a lot of errors in terms of giving away penalties and stuff like that, and all the Sharks have done now is waited for them to make a mistake and pounced. But this is also credit to them for being brave enough to run out of their 22... not give the ball away too easily, and if they keep doing that, they've got a shot, eh? Lionel Cornier this time getting it through the pulse. 26 points to 19 at 36 minutes. They could go in with a lead, could the Sharks. This is some brilliant stuff. Anthony Volmaker, good on you, mate. Right, here we go. Sean Farrell says it'll be a good boxing or UFC main event in Farrell, and it'll be only a pay-per-view. Waterberg Wine said, I just think Watson will never give up. He'll stand up and stand up again, 100%. And Rainer Uckman, I've never been so happy for a Sharks try in my life. Yeah, 100%. Sharks fans, enjoy this now, because after next week, we're done, eh? We're done. Gumedi, once again, very reliable under the high ball. Carrying it up there. Elliot Daly is having a fantastic game for the Sharks. Yeah, he hasn't had a good half, has Elliot Daly. Hendrickser going deep there. Williams now, he's going to try and run this. He's got Duvan outside him. Dylan Richardson doesn't make the tackle, but Monis Porquito is there. And they come through to the... Oh! Gareth Davies is about to play it, and Vian Harris has come straight through and played. I mean, come on, you can't expect a prop to be able to understand the rules like that. Come on, mate. They're not there to read the rules and play clever rugby. They're there to scrum. Come on, mate. He spends his life smacking into other props. Like, come now. Give him a break. Right, well, the Sharks have allowed the Lions into their 22. I think Dan Bigger's kicked... Or into Tuku Mkuno is making his audition as linesman there, standing on the thing, showing them where it is. So they don't get themselves into the 22 meters, but so it'll be a Lions put in just beyond the 22, or just by the 22. Jamie George goes to Courtney Laws. Hamish Watson breaks off, goes to Gareth Davies. Inside ball there. I think it's Duan van der Merwe who carried that. I saw it's Chris Harris. Slow ball here for Tad Byrne. Now Jack Conan. Now Courtney Laws. Dylan Richardson brings him down. Making good progress there, though, are the Lions. Now Tad Byrne picks up and goes himself. Jack Conan once again. Running into Vian Herbst and Kieran van Vuren. 7th phase now for the Lions. It's Courtney Laws. Dylan Richardson is there. Can he get some hands on the ball? Oh, Tad Byrne burst through. Pillars! Where are the pillars? Oh, that's too easy. Tyler Bird hits back. Oh, that's heartbreaking from the Sharks. That's so easy. It's so frustrating. After doing all the good things, after doing all the hard work, getting yourself in that position to concede a try like that is just criminal. Absolutely criminal. You can see, I mean, Courtney Laws goes, Dylan Richardson's having a go at it, and Ruru's, you could see, he's just sort of meandering down to the left, and Taylor Byrne was so quick there, up and went, and no issues. It wasn't even contested. I mean, the Ruru's had a half tackle him, but it was, it's frustrating. When you do all the hard yards, and then you just give it up like that, it's just frustrating to do. So 26-26 will probably be the halftime score. If I'm Lionel Cornea, I'm kicking this as deep as possible. The Sharks have been nothing short of amazing. Well, then they go do that, Lloyd. And Grant Swart says, what a stupid penalty to give away. Yeah, it really wasn't good. I mean, it's such a standard front ranker deciding to try and punish the scrum off, isn't it? Okay, sorry, there's actually 18 seconds to go. My clock's a little bit ahead, but by the time Cornea lands his kick, it'll be 10 seconds. So it's pretty much the last play of the game. Cornea going deep. It's contestable. It was contestable. It was very good under the high ball was Jack Conan. Right, high stakes to go. Interesting to see what the Lions do here. Will they kick it out, or will they just sort of try and keep going and try and see if they can run in a try before half time? There's the hooter. I think they're going to kick this out. Gareth Davies. Nope, he's going to put in the contestable kick. It's Anthony Watson after it. It's Falmink, I think. No, it's Pepsi Buthelezi. That's a brilliant take about Dan Bigger. He's one possession back. Just sort of the halfway line. Once again, Gareth Davies. That's a strange kick. He's just giving away possession away. And if, that's it. If I'm Falmink, I'm saying thank you very much. We'll just take touch in here. I mean, it was a brilliant take by Dan Bigger. Then Gareth Davies was obviously a little bit over the half. But what a half! 52 points. If I told you before the game that there would be 52 points at half-time and then told you that they would be drawing, you wouldn't believe me. You would not believe me. 26 points to 26 at Loftus. The Lions are about to get a proper talking to by Warwick Gatland. I don't know if you've all seen that video where the coach just walks around the training just slapping people in the face. Well, I think that's what he might be doing now. But for the Sharks, I think Hendricks is having some words. Good to see him getting stuck in there. A professional should never concede a try like that. Yeah, 100%. As I said, that's such a poor try. It's just no pillars. The Sigma Lions had the same mistake. You can't just not have pillars there. Pillar post, people. I wasn't even a forward, I remember. Pillar post. It was drilled into us, and I was at a small school that was terrible at rugby. Entertainment for the first half. That's been the best Lions game we've seen since the Lions have played. You know, I mean, the Japan game wasn't as good. The Sigma Lions game definitely wasn't as good. Wednesday was horrible. This is a good contest. And I think the Bulls will be watching this thinking, bugger, that could have been us. That could have been us. But half-time, we are sitting at 26-all, which is very interesting. As I said, I wouldn't have predicted that score at all. So maybe those people, that 33%, I think, who said that it could be, 32% that said it could be a Sharks victory. Maybe they're onto something. Maybe they knew something we didn't. I'd love to know what the odds would have been, the betting odds. Maybe I should go put a bet on now. Justin Francis says Sharks doing way, way better. Kwasi said Bulls would have given the Lions a similar game. Well, I mean, I think it depends on the Bulls side that would have pitched up. I think at the proper Bulls side, if they play well, definitely. But, who knows? Please do smash a like on the video. We're seeing on 23 likes, people, and there's over 100 of you watching. So, let's try and get that like to view ratio more to like the 50%. Let's even get to 30 likes, 40 likes, 50 likes. Also, please keep subscribing because we're 17 people away from 2,200. So, if anybody's OCD, you can do everybody a favor and just keep that subscribers box ticking over. Grant Swart says this was entertaining and tiring. Thirsty work watching that. We'll have a look at some of the stats now. See what's plotting. It's a fantastic weekend of sport, by the way, if you're South African. The Pro Tours are in action tomorrow. We've got Euro final tomorrow night. Craig Gomez says, I voted for the Sharks. Well, there we go, Craig. They might have called you crazy, but I think we're all swallowing our early predictions now. Oh, hectic. Finn Russell has been ruled out of the tour. Breaking news. Finn Russell has been ruled out of the tour. But guess who's been called up? Marcus Smith. Marcus Smith has been called up as cover for Finn Russell. Oh my living. They've literally just issued that now, about an hour ago. Yeah. So Finn Russell will not feature for the Lions. That's massive for them. I think that Finn Russell's a tremendous player. But Marcus Smith will now fly down to South Africa. That's a huge call. I like that call, though. I like Marcus Smith. Well, there we go. So Finn Russell out of the Lions tour. And he'll be replaced by Marcus Smith, who will obviously now travel down. That's very interesting. Sharks giving away too many easy tries. Look, I mean, I think the Lions also gave away a pretty easy try with that knock-on. Both knock-ons, actually. Herbst is the Sharks' biggest weakness today. Yeah, I think if I was Sean Everett, I'd be getting Kuta Mkuno on very, very quickly. I think that, scrum-wise, Herbst is struggling. He just gave away the penalty, which resulted in the try. So I think that he'd be looking at Kuta Mkuno thinking, listen, you're going to on at least, I reckon, 10 minutes is the most that Vian Herbst will have. But that's massive news on Marcus Smith. Very, very interesting call there from Gatland. You should put a shark stick over that can of lager. That's a lot of effort. Kratzwald says, what beer are you drinking? I've never seen that can before. It's a good old Lion Lager, number 17. This was the drink of choice. This is my varsity days. We used to buy the quarts at 12 rand a quart. Those were the days. But I'm almost 25, so I can't be buying quarts anymore, can I? I have to sort of, buy cans, try and be a little bit more, civilized. Smith was doing well with Harlequins. Oh yeah, and I'm a big fan of Marcus Smith. Looks like a very nice player. So very keen to see. I mean, unfortunately, will he be? I don't think we'll see any game time for him though, because, I mean, is he going to play? He's not going to play against the Springboks. I don't think. So, I mean, I suppose what he arrives. I mean, if he can arrive tomorrow, I mean, are there even flights down here? I don't know how quickly he can get down here. I think that'll be the first problem. Because even if he gets down here tomorrow, would he maybe feature by next week Saturday? Maybe, but he wouldn't feature on Wednesday. So I don't think we'll actually see Marcus Smith on the field. So I suppose, just a chance. But I think maybe that's Brian Gatlin saying that he's one for the future. So, Monica Silva says, great to see the Sharks put up a fight. Hope to see a similar second half. Yeah, I just want to see something nice and close. Let's hope that the Lions don't just run away with it. Grazwas, did Finn Russell lose the fight in the poll, and that's why it's been ruled out. Yeah, Finn Russell's not playing anymore. He saw that we didn't back him in the fight, so he's out. Or maybe Finn Russell tried to make a point, and he went and punched Tom Curry, who they tied with Sinclair. What was the story there? He tied with Hamish Watson. So Tom Curry got 25%. So maybe took exception to that, punched Tom Curry, and Tom Curry just think one time. But I mean, Marcus Smith, he's 22 years old. He looks like he's about 14. And he'll now be on the plane to South Africa. I want to try and find out if they know when he's going to travel. I mean, he literally only made his England debut last week against the USA. And now he's going to go and try to come down here. Oh no, sorry. So Finn Russell's not going home, by the way. I read it as the 3 test. It said Finn Russell is managing an Achilles issue and will not feature in the next 3 scheduled fixtures. So that's what? He's out for 2 weeks basically. So he'll still be available for the last 2 tests. Okay, I didn't read that. So I suppose they've only got 2. I mean, Owen Farrell, I suppose, is a fly-half cover, but they've technically only got Dan Biggar and Finn Russell. So I suppose that's the thinking. If Finn Russell isn't fit, you're one injury away from not having a fly-half. So it's a good idea to get him down as cover. Roman Wood says, what percent do we think the British first team better than this team? I don't know, actually. Who's starting? Who do you think will start in the test team for the Lions that isn't playing today? I reckon Bundy Aki could be with a shot for the starter. By the way, Josh Adams obviously. I think Liam Williams probably. I mean, Stuart Hogg will be the fullback. To Liam Williams at on the bench maybe. Be a nice player on the bench. Stuart Hogg comes in. I think Conor Murray probably starts. Marcus Smith will travel to SA like the Lions of old by boat. Well, I suppose that wouldn't be the worst idea. It might be in time here for the next tour, which will be what, 2021 to 2033 will be probably the next tour. I have to say, good year for Smith. First off, England won the Premiership and now part of the Lions. It will be a lack of experience for him to come down here and just, just gets the kit. I'm keen. If you can call me in just for like a couple of days, I just want all the kit. I want the t-shirts, I want the jackets, I want the blazer, I want everything. Give me the kit and I don't even have to play. I'll carry water. I just want the kit. Speaking of nice shirts, if anybody knows anybody at Castle Lager, I don't know if Lion is Lion actually SAB. No, they're not. Well, if anyone knows anybody at Castle Lager, they're doing a whole special shirt. And I really, really want one. So I'm willing to swap out the Lions for Castles if you can organize me a shirt. If anyone knows anybody floating around Castle, I'll swap these out if I can get one of those shirts. They're so nice. I see the Stormers have also got a special edition shirt just for the tour. We can actually put it up, actually. Let me see if Stormers have got a picture of that special shirt that they've just released for the Lions tour. We can all vote on it, see what they reckon. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Own a piece of history. It's such a commercial thing, though, isn't it? Here comes a special replica jersey. Only 800 Rand. Bloody money-making tour. Works, though. Yeah, let me just. I'll be interested to see what you guys reckon. Think of the Stormers jersey, the Stormers shirt. I tell you what, though, I want to get the box special shirt. I think that's also very nice. Oh, I'm Rassie Erasmus. I don't know what ever it is. I think it's a financial planning thing. Luno. It's so cringe. We've got Rassie Erasmus talking about Bitcoin. What does the world come to? Show Bitcoin his boss. I mean, do these adverts? Do they ever listen to these scripts and think, I don't know, guys. I think this is getting a little bit corny. Or do they just reckon, oh yeah, Japs, this is the one. This is exactly what's going to sell. Lots of subscriptions or whatever the hell they're trying to sell. Marcus, maybe the weapon we did not prepare for. Yeah, interesting. Look, I don't think he'll play. I thought Lion Lager was dead. Yeah, well, it's back. It's back in many ways. I have too many Leinster jerseys. I have a collection of them. Yeah, it's split me like me and the Sharks and my Lions jerseys. But what do you reckon? This is the. Let me check this up. It's a bit big. This is the Stormers. No, hang on. This is one terribly. Hang on, let me redo that quickly. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. So I want to show you the Stormers jersey. You can all reckon if it's something that we'd. Here it is. What do you reckon? What do you reckon about the Stormers jersey? Stormers fans, what do you think? Are you going to be buying it? This dropped yesterday. Special replica jersey just for the Lions tour. What do you reckon? What's our thinking on this jersey? Is it yay or nay? Is this something you guys would be buying? I don't know. If I'm a Stormers fan, I don't think. You know what my biggest problem is? Is it special? What's so special about it? It looks exactly like a normal Stormers jersey. If you come out and you do like a new badge or something really, really cool, then yeah, maybe. Like the Lions did a gold shirt when they won the Currie Cup, and I got it. It was cool. But I look at this and I think it's just a standard jersey. There's not. I mean, it's a bit darker. I mean, it's kind of a Storm. I mean, what's a Stormers Western Province, a bit of a hybrid. It's got the Western Province stripes in it, but the Stormers colour. I think it looks that special. What are we reckon? Bundy says, Chabalala, check RGDMs, bro. That's interesting. I actually haven't seen that. I'll check it out. I probably won't do it now, but thanks for that. I'll check it out for next week Wednesday. They're doing the same thing for next week Wednesday. Then maybe I'll check it out. But thank you, Bunzi, for that. Is it that different to the previous kit? Yeah, that's the thing. If you want to see what it looks like on, well, there we go. That's what it looks like on. In fact, I can do one step better actually. Wait. Watch this. Let me show you my amazing Photoshop skills. Hey, it worked. There we go. What do you reckon, eh? Yay, nay? There we go. Beep. Anyway, sorry, we'll stop stuffing around. We almost got kickoff here. We do have kickoff here in the second half. Well, they cut away very quickly. We've got kickoff here in the second half. And so the Sharks now playing right to left. Early touch. I think it was Jack Conan underneath that ball. They're 26 points to 26. So we can... Banzi, yeah, please do send me the link. I probably won't do it today. I'll try to do it for Wednesday. But yeah, so it's an early defensive kick here, shaping up here for Gareth Davies. I don't see any change for either side. I don't think Bjorn Hurst will be on for much longer. Early test here for Buthelezi, who knocks it forward and then goes out. So the Lions will have an option over here. Waterberg Wine says, did any one of you buy the limited edition SA versus Lions tour? I'm thinking about it. I'm having a very, very big think about it, to be honest. I really like the Springbok shirt. I don't think I'm also going to get the Lions shirt. I like they kept the blue and white hoops. Yeah, nope, they could have bought him more about the British Lions. Yeah, as I said, I think you could just... If it happens every 12 years, you know what it kind of looks like? It kind of looks like they decided, you know what, guys? It'll actually be quite a good idea if we just decide to just do a special jersey. And so they thought, okay, cool, what can we do? Well, let's just combine the two jerseys. Great. Love it. Make it dark. Roll with it. You know, you had 12 years to design a really cool, unique jersey, and that's what they can come up with. Meh is what I say. Anyway, so it's a kick ahead from the Lions. Tester here for it's been knocked. I actually don't know who knocked on it. It was Monas Porkhito is underneath it. It's a scrum, I think, for the Lions. Sorry, I'll focus on the game now. We'll stop talking about the Stormers jersey. Talk about that in a week's time when they're wearing it. Okay, Hendricks has got the ball in hand, so it'll be a Shark scrum on the halfway line. I think for the Sharks, quite important that if they're going to do anything in this match, they've got to score first, yeah, I reckon. Let's see if the Lions panic. They shouldn't. I think they've got a lot of players that won't panic. You know, I think Dan Bigger is a very, very measured player, so I don't think that he'll panic if he's. It's a very good scrum for the Sharks there, by the way. Buthelezi is broken off the top, and he decides to try and run over Dan Bigger. Oh, he's left it behind. It's a brilliant run from Pilikumedi. I don't know if he's knocked it on. No, it's not holding. He doesn't even... Yeah, I was about to say, Wayne Barnes. Yeah, they're all calling for holding on while the guy's not even contesting with the ball. Pilikumedi, I tell you what, if he had managed to hold on to that, he was straight through. But that was the best Shark scrum we've seen all day. Looked a lot better from Bjorn Herbst. Right, so better scrum here from the Sharks. Looks like a decent hit from them, actually. It's very, very even. So they'll use it. It goes on the blind side for Bigger, who brings in Anthony Watson. Steps inside of Monasport Kita, but it's a nice tackle from him. Rolling away there as well, so no issues. Now Robbie Sutherland will carry it up. He runs into, I think it's the Roots. He's built like a bloody prop Roots. Ooh, inside ball there from Chris Harris brings in Tadek Furlong, I think it was. Now Elliot Daly going down to the up and eyeing the grabber. Is that Murray Costa who's returned that kick? Not a great return of the kick. I think it could be Malado Cornea actually. No, it is Murray Costa. So it'll be a Lions line out on that far side, inside Sharks territory. He's actually looked quite good today as Murray Costa. I think he looked a lot better than Maurice Lowe did. That's not a great clearance from him. So the Lions will have a line out on just shy of the 22. So it's a very, very good attacking the line out here for the Lions. Go to the front of the line, do the Lions, and they shift the point of contact for them all. It's a solid. I've been told to use it. So it's decent defense, and Gareth Davies has to use it. Chris Harris, then bigger around, and it's been intercepted again. And it's Werner Koch. Go, Werner! Do it all yourself. Well, they've got men out wide to do the Sharks. Cornea, he takes contact, does Cornea. Oh, they managed to keep it in. It's been turned over from the Lions. Brilliant intercept there from Fulming. And now the Sharks trying to balance them into touch, and they have intensity. That's intensity. And Hendricks is putting a bit of an elbow in the face there, I reckon. Yeah, Garrett, now a couple of people coming in with a bit of fisticuffs. Of course, Dylan Richardson, Anthony Watson will F you up, mate. He will not enjoy that fight. I love Dylan Richardson's vigor and enthusiasm, but I mean, he's not very big, is he? So you're gonna have a chat here. I think it's Buthelezi. So it's Cornea and Hendricks. Sorry, it's ooh, Wayne Barnes bringing up the yellow card threat. Ooh, he's to warn Gareth Davies and Lionel Cornea that if they don't stop after the whistle, they might have a bit of a rest. Get out of here. Waterberg Wines, Dwayne Lane, Howard's Goldilocks on centre. Werner Koch's been great. Very, very. I've enjoyed Werner Koch. I mean, not quite on Wednesday. He hasn't had the same sort of impact, but he's looked very good when he's actually had a chance. This is fantastic from the Sharks. It was a brilliant counter-attack. And then they turned the ball over, and Jaden Hendricks and Lionel Cornea wrapping up Gareth Davies and then bundling him into touch, having a bit of afters. Wayne Barnes, we're not going to have a look at the scuffle. Really? Really? If this is a penalty, this is stupid by Hendricks. I did wonder if I saw it. It looked like he had thrown a bit of an elbow into the face of... I don't know if it is Garrett. It is Chris Harris, I think, the man on the ground. For Liam Williams. So Hendricks has elbowed the back of Williams' head. He's conceded a penalty as Aiden Hendricks. What an absolute idiot. That's so stupid. That is so stupid. Well, Hendricks, after that brilliant piece of defense, bundling them into touch, has now decided to go and elbow Liam Williams in the back of his head, and he's going to be off. That is the dumbest thing I've seen all tour. And we've seen 16 tries in 2 matches. Now what? We've seen, 4 tries apiece here. So we've seen 24 tries. Seen 24 tries. And horrible defending. And yet, that's a red card. Jaden Hendricks, you have butchered it. You have absolutely butchered it. After playing so well today, and he's just received a red card. You absolute moron. Well, they're going to have to put a scrum off now. Yeah, well, red card, Jaden Hendricks, and that's just the dumbest thing in the world. I cannot actually understand that. When I first saw it, I thought he had kind of sort of landed there and then he kind of done that. But you can see, as he went there, it went blink, back of his head. So stupid. That's just so stupid. And now it's another penalty conceded by the Sharks. Well, this is it. That was it. They were looking good. They were coming back in, and now they're just going to have a go. And they've got no scrum off for the rest of the match. Tad Furlong, it's a good tackle by Kieran van Vuren. Jaden Hendricks, you twit. Is the only way I can say it. It's just so stupid. You're so talented. There's no need to do that. You're playing a really good game today. Brilliant piece of pressure defending there. The Lions would have understood that. By all means, get in the face. Try and say something. Try and sort of assert your dominance. Don't elbow the guy in the back of his head. It's just dumb. So the Lions now going off to the left. Chris Harris up against Werner Koch. They get inside the 22. Now Tadek Byrne. Big hit on him. So much better defense. Oh, it's Dylan Richardson who is trying to win a penalty. He's actually conceded a penalty on the ground. So it's another penalty here for the Lions. Dan Bigger will knock this into the corner. You've got to wonder, hey. You've got to wonder. We're seeing some subs here for the Lions as Conor Murray comes on for his first game on tour, actually. So here comes a maul. I reckon we could have a try here. Oh, it's actually been coming down. Jamie George has broken off. They've got an advantage. Desperate defense here from the Lions. They're right on the try line here. They go once again. They go over in the corner. And there it is. There it comes. Waterboy Wine says, yeah, I think, maybe, I don't know. I think, what the problem is? You can't excuse it. There's just no mitigating factor, is there? He's gone down and decided, I'm going to smack you in the back of your head with my elbow. There's just no mitigating factor, is there? It's not like it's a shove in the face. It's not like it's open hand. It's, the facts are it's an elbow into the back of the head. It's just, maybe a red does seem harsh, but as I said, I just think there's no mitigating factor. So, if you're going, it's foul play. What are the mitigating factors? Hang your head in shame. Hang your head in shame because you've just stuffed it up. I think Hendricks has got the highest threshold of any scrum off in the country right now in terms of how good he can be. But if you do stuff like that, you're not going to progress. They missed the kick there, does Dan Bigger. Trying to see who else came on. He said red sub, so I think it was more than just Conor Murray that's come onto the field. I think he was watching the Bucky shoe before the game. It's just a cheap shot. It's just stupid. It's just stupid, isn't it? What a waste. Great game, great contest. He was playing well. That's the thing. He was playing well. He was looking really good. And he had just had such an important tackle. Great pressure, and you go and do that. Well, Cameron Wright's on the field, as he has to be, so you got to feel for the unlucky person who's been sacrificed. I don't know who that. We've got number 20 on, Jandre Labaskachny, as Imperial Gamedi goes off. Looks a bit shattered as Gamedi. And I don't know who Cameron Wright's on for. I would imagine they'll sacrifice a flank. So maybe it's Gamedi or for Wright, and we could have another loose forward or for Labaskachny. So I'm trying to work out who they sacrificed to get Cameron Wright onto the field. Elliot Daly under the high ball. And he's got away from a couple of players. Eventually he gets slipped so people jump on him. Desperately trying to see who we're missing here. Costa's still on. Abraham's still on. Well, as long as Fulmick's still on, and then all the back players, Ryan Cornier's there. Duvan van der Merwe, meanwhile, getting to the halfway line. I don't see Buthelezi. And I see Richardson. So, advantage offside. No, there's Buthelezi. They're taking off a lock. Hugo's on. Yeah, I don't see the routes. They've got an advantage. They go over the top to Duvan van der Merwe. Now, he's got a bit of space ahead of him. Steps away from Abrahams. Bounces off Cameron Wright. Chris Harris inside ball. Johnny Hill can't keep it hold forward, so it's a knock on off Sharks. It's all looking a little bit easier there. Sorry, I'm getting my clock back on. Grant, you're not doing your job here, mate. My clock was off for 5 minutes. You didn't tell me. 5 minutes. Losing your touch. Living. Elliot Daly. Oh, that's too easy. It's too easy. The Lions are over. It's Elliot Daly. I don't actually know what happened there. Well, Jaden Hendrickson, you've as Grant Swart says, the floodgates will swing open now. It's just so pointless. There's just no need for that. No need. Quinton says Ghost Shark sounds like a total different game from Wednesday. Well, it was, and they're now playing against 14. Oh, the Lions are now playing against 14 men, so that will be for the rest of the game as well. Taking the line quickly, gets away, does Connor Murray, and Elliot Daly just splits the defense. It's just so disorganized by the Sharks. Nobody can stop him. Ah, dear. Semi-Link says, that's the game, folks. Unfortunately, I think you could be right as the kick goes sailing over 38 points to 26. It's a long way back for the Sharks. It looks like they've taken off Gomedi as well as LaRue Roots, put on Cameron Wright and Labaskakni. So I don't know if it's a case of Buthelezi, or I don't know if Labaskakni can play in the second row. But yeah, they've sacrificed an extra player there. So that's what's going on there. Waterball Wine says, still I think a red card should be 10 minutes off and then be replaced and then gets banned for a few games. I think it should be at least 20 minutes if they want to do that. I think 10 minutes is too short. And Tuko Mkuno comes off for Majola. It's an interesting thing. You know, they tried that red card rule. Some people really like it, some people don't. I don't actually know where I stand on that, to be honest. Deep kick there from Lionel Cornier, playing a territory game now with the Sharks. Jack Conan once again under the high ball. Conor Murray's been charged down. Werner Koch! Go Werner! They've hit back! The Sharks hit back. Conor Murray. Somebody said it. I don't know who it was. Somebody in the comments a while back said Conor Murray's too slow at the base of the ruck with his box kicks. It's going to come short. Well, it's come up short there. He's been charged down. Werner Koch is all over it like a rash. He dives over. My man. He looks like he should be on a surfboard, but instead he's scoring tries. Sure, he's scoring tries. Once again, the Sharks, they're not going away. It's Reniel Hugo who gets it, and Werner Koch underneath it, then goes over. Sharks hit back. Just keep the score under 54. Well, the Sharks are back, 31 points to 38. Also, sorry, I'm still pissed off about it. I butchered my clock duties. We'll let it slide, Grant. We'll let it slide. A red card doesn't happen all the time, so we'll let it slide. He was onside, was Reniel Hugo, so try stands, and Lionel Cornier will have a chance to try and kick their way back into contention. That's a horrible error from Conor Murray. That's pretty much his, third or fourth contribution of the tour, and it's a charge down. Lionel Cornier going off to the left there with that kick. Ooh, we've got a Sharks player down. It's Werner Koch. Well, shock and horror, he's suffering from a bit of cramp. He played a full 80 on Wednesday, and he's been relentless tonight. Relentless. Very glad he gets the reward here. A 40-man Sharks team has surprised us in the past. True. But they've just lost the kickoff, so that doesn't help either. Now it's Chris Harris. Ooh, we've got another scrum cap on here. Who's that? That's Lorenzo Arjansa. Well, he wasn't supposed to be in the game today. I didn't even realize he's still around. Well, there we go. Lorenzo Arjansa's on. He's a Springbok, you know. I think he's capped. Oh dear. Here we go. Anthony Watson to the 22 meters. Elliot Daly comes inside. Lorenzo Arjansa starts to sit on him. Good tactic. I like that. Oh, Johnny Hill letting it go. This is very good. Rory Sutherland. This is very good continuity here from Lions. Grasswell, it was me. I said Murray takes an edge. Well, there we go. Give that man a buzz. Good prediction there. Should put some money. Oh dear, Johnny Hill. Oh, the handling's too good. Following Ruxorf Abrahams eventually brings down, I think it's Jack Conan. Conor Murray, it's very flat, had a burn. Hamish Watson now goes to Jamie George. Jamie George reaches over and he's over. The Lions hit back. Not great defense, it must be said. I mean, some decent tackles there, but it kind of looked like it was just a matter of time. It really was. Very, very good hands here from the Lions. They were over 31 points to 43. Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, it's going to be a high-scoring game and nothing else. We're hitting almost 80 points here. 43 points to 31. Jamie George has got his second for the day, actually. Good carry from Tad Byrne. Hamish Watson inside ball. Lawrence Arjansa is too busy trying to get on side to turn around and make the tackle. He was in an offside position, so he's trying to get it back on side, and that creates the gap. Jamie George hits it. and no one stopping him from that sort of distance. Now Dan Bigger will try and Macarena his way into some more points. Waterboy says, Lekker Goldilocks. Yeah, it's been good. I've enjoyed Werner Kok at 13. We've been saying this, though, people. If you've been here in the chat, we've been saying this. Werner Kok to 13. Don't stop wasting him on the wing. Sean Farrell says, Conor Murray has had a habit of taking things slow a lot compared to other scrummers. I quite like Gibson Park, you know. Please do keep smashing the likes. We're 5 away from getting 50 likes, so please keep smashing that like button. Also, please do keep subscribing. You know, trying to hit that 2,200 subs. Cornelia going deep again. That's Sam Simmons now on the field. Kyle Sinclair on the field as well. So Conan off, as well as Tarek Furlong. I don't see any other players on for the Sharks. Conor Murray this time not getting charged down, taking it a little bit quicker. Anthony Folmick. He's always looked to run. He runs straight into Watson. He throws him to the ground, but he's up onto the 10 meter. Cameron Wright. Dylan Richardson going himself. Runs into... That's Ken Owens. Ken Owens on the park as well. Carlson going for the intercept. Folmick decides to tip inside, and Conor Murray is there to clean up. Right, probably the right idea from Folmick. Going down the blind side with the Sharks. It's been turned over here, so Johnny Hill is not a great pass. Backwards ball here from Williams, but they spread it all the way to Elliot Daly. Now he'll bring that left boot out. Covering ground. Good cover there. I think it's from Cornier. He's going himself. That's a horrible hospital pass to Abraham. And then you go and run out. Cornier, you know, really? Well, it's been turned over as usual. I mean, Cornier, that's horrible. Oh, Duan van der Merwe skipped around Lawrence Arjon, so like a bloody... Oh, my goodness. It's not looking good yet for the Lions. Yeah, they're bringing in the backline players. Now they're going off to the right-hand side. Liam Williams, they've got the numbers. Anthony Watson up against Anthony Folmick. Steps inside. Anthony Watson. That's a great tackle from Marnus Portkeeter. Conor Murray goes himself. He's brought down. The Lions are 3-4 meters away from the try line. Slow ball now. So a couple of Sharks players getting back. Buthelezi looks dead in his feet. Oh, but what a tackle from him and Kieran van Vuren. They're searching for their 8th. They've done it at every single tour game so far. Will the Lions get their 8th try? Pick up and go here. I mean, you've got Werner Kok and Cameron Wright now as your pillar and post here. Pepsi Buthelezi now coming up. The penalty advantage will be offside. Bigger goes inside. Anthony Watson over. 48 points. It's, yeah, the gates are open. The gates are open. Sorry, I forgot to add things. It's actually 50 points. 50 points. Oh dear. Yeah, that's a funny what a red card can do. And not even so much from our players. Certainly, it's just more like a mental thing. You know, mentally, you now think that you know things are going to go against you. You realize you have to work harder and stuff like that. So it's just a massive thing. You just don't want to go down to 14 men ever. The pass from Murray looked dodgy. Robin Wood says Rassie must not be too worried about the British and Irish Lions defence in this game so far. I don't think they'll be worried about the set piece, I'll tell you that much. I think the set piece has been a little bit dodgy. So it's the 60-minute mark. So I'm going to chuck up our link for the player ratings. And I think that Jane Henderson might get a bit of a stinker. So please, there's the link there. Please do go visit it and go and rate the players so far. Well, I mean, you obviously give it a bit of time. I'm just going to put it up there so you've got it. So when we get to sort of the 70-minute mark, please do go and rate the players and stuff like that. Obviously, don't go and rate the bench if they haven't come on yet. I just want to give people as much chance as possible. So I'll pin the link there and we'll go and vote later. Temalani Bully now on the park. 20 minutes to go. 52 points on the board for the British and Irish Lions. So look, when we're trying, they scored the most points on the now put Chamberlain on. Look, I mean, it's a much better game regardless of what happens from the Sharks, but things could get ugly in terms of the scoreline because they're down to 14 men. They're looking under the cosh here. Butcher Chamberlain is on. It's a good take from Johnny Hill. What about Wise and Simmons for me? I mustn't English team. Now it made him missed him. Yeah, look, I think if he has a decent tour, he'll probably definitely get that English call up. And eventually, yeah, going wide immediately, Duan van der Merwe, who sat down 2 players. Werner Kok, as always, will not Dar Wondering makes a good tackle there. Carl Sinclair going to his prop partner, Wyn Jones. And it's a penalty to the Lions for Tebelani Boli, the man who's been penalised there for being in the way there. The scoreline feels wrong. It's just frustrating because the Sharks have been so good, and then one moment of idiocy, I think is the best word, from Jaden Hendrickse, and all of a sudden that they're not dead in their feet all of a sudden. Macy line for the Lions on the 22 metres. Conor Murray has to take it into contact. He's wrapped up by Dan Jooste, who's on as well. And they've conceded a penalty, have the Sharks, for not releasing. It's against Dan Jooste, I think. Yeah, this is getting messy. A lot of penalties being conceded now here for the Sharks. Up to the 5 meter of the Lions. Yeah, this could be. Yeah, I think that we could see the Sharks heading over 60 here. I mean the Lions, because it's all one way traffic since that red card. Grant says hopefully Jane Henson learns some experience. I'm sure he knows he's dropped his team. Yeah, definitely. He'll sit there and think we were in it until I made that mistake. It's a tough lesson to learn, but let's just hope he learns it, because I think he's such a good talent as Jaden Hendrickse. Oh, and when Joe just broken off the back, he almost gets up to the 5 meter. Buddha Chamberlain desperately trying to rip the ball in the tackle there. And it's been held up over the line, so it'll go back for a scrum. But yeah, it just looks like a matter of time now, doesn't it? It looks so easy. I mean, it's forward on backline players, so well done in the end, but it's difficult. It's just such a big ask now for the Sharks. Please do keep smashing like on the channel, on the video. Please subscribe as well if you want to become a member of the Frame Sports Members Club. I'll pin the link there as well. I'm actually going to drop the link again. If you want to become a member to the channel, you can do that. But yeah, please keep subscribing, please keep smashing the like, stuff like that. We're chasing 2,200, so feel free to help us try and get there. So it'll be a scrum on the 5, obviously for the Lions, after it was held up on the line. They don't have a loose forward yet to the Sharks, because so I think it's Bolly's come on for Buthelezi. Another really good game for Buthelezi, by the way, it must be said. He's been immense for the Sharks. Credit to him. Very young, putting us all in. He's been very, very impressive, and he just doesn't seem to stop. I mean, he played a full 80. He was relentless. I mean, to make 20 carries on Wednesday and then come in and start on today, and he was once again really good. But you could see he was just tired. Tackles made. Dylan Richardson has made 18. Pepsi Buthelezi made 11, by the way. That's why we're talking about him. It's a good run there from Harris, who breaks the line. The Lions are inches over. Carl Sinclair takes it up. He gets wrapped up. Tad Byrne now. Oh, no one touched him. Tad Byrne, easy as you like. It's his second of the day. Here come the floodgates. Yeah, it's not looking pretty. It's not going to go well, I don't think, unfortunately, for the Sharks. It was a really good carry from Chris Harris. The forwards came bundling in, but the defense was in tatters, and Tad Byrne strolled over. Nobody even touched him. Nobody even looked like they wanted to touch him. You could just see Cameron Wright was in and around there, and was just, I don't think too many people were interested. They're going to break the 60-point mark, or the Lions. I mean, it's an easy kick for Dan Bigger. 59 points there. And for a side which was, I think, really in it and played really well for a lot of today, to see a scoreline which I think will probably get close to 60 or 70 is harsh. It's harsh. And Jaden Hendrickse will feel that he had a lot to do with that. Crosswise, it's just weird seeing a name like Buddha Chamberlain. Those names don't go normally together. I tell you, I struggle when I say it. Even when I say it, it just doesn't sort of come out very easily. 12. Mary Costa's game comes to an end as Jeremy Ward will get 50 minutes. I mean, Butch Chamberlain is busy telling Lawrence Arjohansa to do. I don't know what he'd be telling him. Oh, sorry, it's Jonker coming on. So no Jeremy Ward tonight. Jonker is on for Murray Costa. So a couple of changes to the Sharks bench. Going deep is Butch Chamberlain, and it's Sam Simmons underneath it. Marnus Portkita's there. Solid take. Now the Lions looking to try and run another 22. Rush defense there, so it's a bit messy here for Liam Williams. Duan van der Merwe's got a bit of space. Abrahams steps inside of Abraham, steps outside of Jonker. Still going to Duan van der Merwe. Always seems to get away from one or two players. Now you can see already going off to the left now are the Lions. Oh, fumble there from Daly. Sam Simmons now. Cuts inside. He's brought down by Dylan Richardson. Carl Sinclair now carrying it up. Oh dear, Anthony Watson's broken through. Anthony Watson's broken through. He's got Tom Curry. Oh dear. Curry's over. 64 points. It's getting ugly. It's getting ugly. It's too easy. It's just far too easy. They're literally undoing all the good work they did in the first half. I think that's the first touch for Tom Curry. Well, he didn't win a poll for most intimidating to fight against, but he's got to try it, so I think he'll probably take that in all honesty. You can see the inside ball from Anthony Watson, who commits 2 defenders and then gets it out to Tom Curry. He's got all the pace in the world. Grant Swartz, Pepsi once again showing his future Springbok captain material. Oh yeah. I back that. Grant Swartz, I just hope someone in the coach staff puts an arm around the shoulder of Jaden Henderson. He's going to need it. He's going to be gutted, isn't he? He's going to be absolutely gutted. I'm hoping Jordan's there. Got a couple of beers. He can sit there and sip beer and just, reflect on things. It's tough on Hendrickson, but, he'll come back from it, I hope. The best players always do. And they'll just tell him, you don't need to do that. You just don't need to do it. You've got the talent. You will be a Springbok. Bundy Aki's on, by the way. I think Jaden Henderson could be a Springbok great with the talent he's got. In terms of raw talent, I haven't seen a scrum half this talented in a long time. So, it's a massive error for him, and he needs to bounce back. So hopefully he'll play some Curry Cup next week. I hope he doesn't get dropped. Maybe I'd like to see him on the bench. He's still very young. We've got to remember this as well. We're talking about someone who's 21 years old. So I mean he's a child. So it's a big learning curve for him. Steep learning curve for him. Sean Love going, not sure about arm around the shoulder, maybe a clap around the cheeks. Look, I think he's getting a red card and then watching your team get taken apart and knowing that you're the reason. I don't think people are going to go in boxing on him. I think it's just you'll be very, very aware of how much you've effed it up at the end of the day. Another penalty there from Lawrence Arjohansa. So it's just one-way traffic. I'd love to see how many penalties they've conceded in the last 10 minutes because I don't think the British and Irish Lions have conceded a single one. Once again, it's a prop coming off and playing the scrum half. Shock and bloody horror. And it's a skew throw-in from Ken Owens. First error from the British and Irish Lions. Sharks will be back. 66 points to 31. I mean, you look at that scoreline and you just think it's a game of horrible defenses, don't you? You think it's a game where nobody knows how to tackle. I think it's a game where the British and Irish Lions had sloppy moments and the Sharks capitalized pretty well. I thought, you think of an intercept try, a knock-on, which then was a try, a charge down, which was then a try. So 3 out of the Sharks' 5 tries have been off mistakes. But I think that the first 2, I think Fulmig was well worked, and I think that the Taka Abraham's try was very well worked. Nice by Lana Cornea. Unfortunately, for all that, Lana Cornea looked brilliant in that first half an hour. Since then, he's gone AWOL. A couple of mistakes. I mean, he left Abrahams out to dry earlier. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating. They were good for their 31 points. And then they just threw it away with one moment. Let's see what they can do here. Right, Jonker, first carry for him. He's on the ground. He's got to release him, ref. Going down to the right now. It's Tamalani Borley. Runs it to 2 players. Still doesn't get very backwards. Gets driven sideways. Dan Euster puts his head down. Can the Sharks get a try here? Can they get a consolation try? Just to say, you know what, we actually deserved a bit more. That's A penalty for the Sharks. What about once? One player cannot win you a game, but one player can lose you a game. Yeah, it's very true. You know, you can't win a game by yourself, but you can certainly be a major part of it. Lost. Sean Faust says, I give the Sharks credit for getting 31 points. It was a really good game. It was a really, really good game until that red card. We've said, how many times do you have to hear that? And I think that's the frustrating. Look, if Sharks can get a try here, 66 points to 30, let's call it 38, and they get the conversion. That's a nice game. It's a game of lots of bad defenses, I suppose. You don't really want to be seeing 100-point games. But it's been quite entertaining. I was thoroughly enjoying it up to that red card. There's a very good rolling more here from the Sharks. They found good momentum and they're up to the 5-meter line. They've got an advantage as well for Wyn Jones. Timberlake Boy breaks off. Look, Sharks fans, if you don't want Jaden Henderson back, you're more than welcome to leave him in Johannesburg, and the Lions will take him. You know, we will happily snap him up if you want it. What about Wine says, yes, he's young, but surely he have learned in junior level. Well, I think the problem is he didn't play last year for a start, so he's kind of missed a year thing. He's just hot-headed. He's a scrum-off. He's a bloody scrum-off. His scrum-offs are so temperamental. He's dropped the ball, but you can see his reaction. I think it's a heat of the moment. Look, you can't excuse it. It's a stupid thing to do. But rather learn it now than when you're playing for the Springboks, you know. It's another penalty here, so we'll have another Sharks more. This time on the 5-meter line. Looked much better from them. If they can get a try here, credit to them. They'll remember this game. It's been a much bigger test for the Lions, which I think Gatlin was hoping for. He definitely got it. I think in many ways the Sharks have identified that the Lions aren't all that, because for all they looked really good for their points in the past few games, you know, they've made lots of mistakes today, and the Sharks have capitalized on them. Going right, oh, that's a horrible pass. Thankfully, Liam Williams has slipped, and Fulmick is back to clean up. He knocks it backwards. I think there's an advantage though. Yeah, there's an advantage. So it's still Sharks ball, so they'll have another chance from the line out. The clock, look, if nothing else, this is good for the Sharks just to wind the clock down. You don't want to get up to 70 points. You don't want to get up to 80 points, because if the Lions get the ball, they could do. Right, so another line out here for the Sharks. It's actually looking quite good as the Maul. So as I said, if they can get a consolation try, fair play, they'll take that. I think they'll count it as a good day's work. Could have gotten a lot more out of this game, and they'll know that. They'll know that. It's a scoreline which doesn't do them justice, but it's how the game, it's how the cookie crumbles. It's a solid Maul defense so far. It's not going anywhere. There it is. They've told Noel to use it once. Dan Yost is going to have to do something here. Cameron Wright wants the ball. And he goes to Maurice Jonker. Not Maurice Jonker. He goes to Jonker in the midfield there. Penalty advantage. It's number 19. That's Adam Beard. Chip over the head from Cameron Wright. And it's fielded by Dan Bigger. So they had a penalty advantage. So Cameron Wright trying to chip over the top and gather himself, and then deciding to tackle Dan Bigger just for good measure. Now Hugo's pointing to the corner. He wants another line out. I definitely wouldn't back the scrum. So another line out just being set up by Butcher Chamberlain. If nothing else, they're just running the clock down. Run the clock down. 66 points to 35. To 36 or 38. You know, you'll take that. You'll think it was a half decent game. Grasswell says 21 is the perfect age to make stupid mistakes and learn from them. Yeah, as long as he does learn from them, that's the main thing. You know, if Hendrickson decides to go from here, clean up his act, not do anything stupid and go on and put in a stormy season, credit to him. But if he continues doing that, then it's just going to come in the way of what could be a very, very exciting career. It's another good lineup. This time not going for the ball. They're broken off to the left. And I think they've actually lost. I think Wyn Jones has got hands on the ball there. No, they've got it. It's available. Timberlake Bawley. Connor Murray is playing him early there. No advantage though. Yeah, there we go. Advantage. Timberlake Bawley makes a nice carry there. They've got advantage, so what can they conjure up here? Butcher Chamberlain cross kick. Abrahams against Stephen van der Merwe. Of course, Stephen van der Merwe. Sorry, it's Liam Williams actually who wins that fight. You don't beat Liam Williams in the air. You do not beat Williams in the air. Michael Burns says, I think the Lions will pass the 80 mark for sure in 6 minutes. Or on this tour. Maybe against the Stormers, but yeah. 21 is the perfect age to pick a new career path. I think let's not get too reactionary. Waterberg Wine says, I think Rusty will look at the game and say, let's work from their mistakes. Yeah, well, they haven't been amazing at the British Lions, which is harsh on the side, which has scored 10 tries. But they've made the mistakes. And if you punish mistakes, you can win rugby games. And I can tell you right now, the Springboks defense won't be as porous as the Sharks has been. Sharks go for the ball once again. This one looks like they're in a bit of trouble. I think Dan Houston needs to get that ball out. Players that come through the middle. No, man, stop trying to keep it in here, chaps. You've got people who have come through the middle. Tad Burns got his arms all over that, and he's been told he can use it. They've almost over the try line, but Tad Burns is all over that. They're going to turn that over. Yeah, I mean, that was stupid. I mean, I think it was Yonka there. He decided to come and join them all. You had to take it out. So that's just poor from... Oh, Conor Murray got sent off. Oh, I didn't even see that. Yeah, Conor Murray's been sent off. I actually missed that. I was having a bit of a beer there. So Conor Murray's off, actually. So it's 14 against 14. We'll check that up on the screen. So, yeah, it was Conor. I did wonder, he played the people. It was a bit stupid from him. Bloody scrum-offs, eh? Bloody scrum-offs. So it's turnover ball. It'll be a Sharks put in. They don't have a scrum-off. I mean, the Lions put in, sorry. The Lions put in. I think that Butcher Chamberlain is a future Springbok. I think it's a big call. I think I've seen good things from him, but I've also seen some average things. He's very young, so we have to wait and see how he develops. But Grasswasser, Dan's biggest defense has been poor this whole game. I can see Damien running at him during the test match. It's weird because I've always liked Dan Big as a defender. But he hasn't looked great. He looks a bit sore. He took a big knock in the first half. I wonder if he's not playing with a bit of a niggle because he has seemed to almost avoid a bit of contact. But, look, I'd rather run into him than Bundy Aki. That's an immense scrum from the Lions. There comes penalty time. Elliot Daly finishing in at scrum off. Oh dear, it's a horrible pass. Liam Williams trying to clean up. Don't know how there wasn't a penalty advantage there. Yeah, they were about to say, they'll go back for the penalty here from the Lions. Well, the Lions will have 4 minutes to have one more go and see if they can break the 70-point threshold. I think they're having a chat. I don't know what the chat's about. Okay, so they're having a talk at St. Clair. I don't know if it was a case of a bit of after ball stuff like that. Wayne Bart said it's a long tour, let's not be stupid. So obviously there was something a bit after that. Ken Owens has got some blood on his face. It's a very nice kick from Dan Bigger. Michael Benson was right. Henderson should have stayed on the couch. Well, to be fair to him, he was looking really good before the red card. Much better than Wednesday. Elliot Daly has made 6 carries tonight, 69 meters made. He's been good. Yeah, he's been pretty much a distributor at that outside centre. Now sitting at scrum off. On the 10-meter lines are the Lions. Can they score another try? Goes back to Tug Byrne. Elliot Daly goes up to Bundy Aki in the midfield. He shrugs off Dylan Richardson, runs into Temulani Bolly. Sam Simmons now, tackled by Chamberlain and Werner Koch. Still inside their own half, Kyle Sinclair. It's a nice tackle on him from Labuskakny. Oh, there's an overlap here. Big pass out there from Tad Byrne. He steps inside of Cameron Wright. Runs over Werner Koch. Brought down by Majola. Now Tom Curry takes it up himself. He's a little bit isolated, but Elliot Daly gets there. Sinclair pops it up. Dan Bigger goes to Johnny Hill, who rotates to the tackle and then holds on to it. They need a scrum off here to the Lions. The original one's currently in the sin bin. Couple of hands here. And Anthony Watson gets away from one, gets away from another. Anthony Watson is through. He's quick. Oh my living. He's inside, outside, foaming. Oh, and he's handed off Cameron Wright. And after a quiet first half, Anthony Watson is getting into the game. 71 points in the 79th minute. It's gone horribly since that red card. I mean, they've conceded, 40 points, I think, since the red card. I mean, it's just a couple of missed tackles, isn't it? And that's you talk about Matt Folmick just got absolutely done, and then Cameron Wright just got handed off. It's horrible. It's horrible. Well, it's not been great since the red card. 71 points to 31. It won't make for good reading in 12 years' time when they look back at this. But I think that would have been why scrum off so. Remember Gregan? Oh, Gregan was one of those. Gregan was so good at managing to just get under people's skin. I think Daly was poor. As I said, I don't think he did that much. I think he was distributing a lot. He was pretty much just going from one side to the other. But that's what the Lions have been doing all tour. Very interested to see if they try this sort of high intensity. But you can see, Paul Keita misses the tackle. Watson bursts through, gets away from Falmink, hands off Cameron Wright. They missed the conversion. How did they miss the conversion? Oh, it's a messy kickoff win there. Dan Bigger goes on the outside of Yonka, and now he'll kick ahead. It won't go into touch. So as the hooter sounds in about 4 seconds, Falmik was going to have to run from one side of the field to the other. Butch Chambers going to kick it ahead. He's going to keep it in hand. Now he chips over the top. And Liam Williams bounces onto it. It's a good tackle from Tucker Abrahams, and Werner Cox all over trying to win it. But the Lions do have it, so they can still score another one yet. If I'm the Sharks, just get that ball out. Get that ball out. Michael Byrne, the game's over, so they literally physically cannot get to 80 points. Oh, Johnny Hill makes a good break. Brought down by Temalani Borley. Pops it up, and Borley's there to make the intercept. Yeah, he can't play it though, so it's a penalty for the Lions. So what will the Lions do? I mean, they've got 71 points, 31. They've got a 40-point advantage. Do they kick it out, or do they go for the corner and say we want another one? Yeah, they're just going to tap it and kick it out. I think they're putting it out their misery. Yeah, final score, 71 points to 31. A frustrating game for the Sharks. He was so good for about 50 minutes. Really, really rose to the occasion. That first half was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The red card really, really changing the game. Jaden Hendrickson will be kicking himself. He'll know he let himself down. But to you, thank you very much for joining in. We'll be back live on Wednesday for what sounds like it'll be the Lions versus the Stormers. We'll obviously have a review of this game. We'll be doing our player rating show in 45 minutes. We'll be live at 8:30 South African Standard Time. The link will be up very, very shortly. So it's the link in the pinned comment there. I'll drop the link again in the comments here. Please go and vote on the players and stuff like that. And I'll be live in 45 minutes where we can then go and basically rate every single player and we'll go from there. A couple of players will be a bit wrong, so I'll try and correct those now. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and please make sure you like and subscribe. I mean, we need 2 more for 50, so 2 more people are going to smash the like button before we end. But apart from that, thank you very much. Please do keep safe. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you guys soon.